It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
What's going on? What's up, everybody? It's your girl BondyBlue, and I'm back for another BondyBlue show. You know what it is, yo? Oh, what's up? How y'all doing? It's Thursday, okay? And I would like to remind everybody there will be no Ooh Ladies First panel tonight, okay? But we will be in Atlanta, okay? We will be in Atlanta, September 26th, 2026, okay? Go to Eventbrite and get your ticket now. Go to Eventbrite and get your ticket now, okay? I'm going to put it in the comments. I thought I had put it in the comments for all of my videos, but it's not doing that. So I'm going to put it in there, but I need for y'all to go ahead and get y'all a ticket to our Atlanta show because we want to see y'all. And we know a lot of y'all are in Atlanta. So we would love for y'all to show up, okay? Come through and come see us live, girl. All right? I got to figure out what I'm going to wear, girl. I haven't even figured out what I'm wearing yet, okay? Y'all got to get y'all tickets so we can figure out what we going to wear. Okay. Hey, California cutie. What's going on, Melinda? I'm here, Bondi. Anyone get out of pocket, we'll get blocked. Let's keep it respectful. Happy Thursday. Listen, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all for kind of being on go in the comments because it's been a lot lately, right? It's been a lot. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It's engagement. You dig? I'm gonna try to find the positive in this crazy ass shit, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm a real person. I don't enjoy all of the vitriol that people give you just for the sake of engagement. Like, I've never been that person. That's part of the reason why some people, feel like I am not as valuable and all of that shit, because I at some point I don't give a fuck. And I'm just gonna go ahead and be real about it, okay? You ain't gonna keep talking to me crazy, bitch, okay? No, okay? I'm gonna fight back. Fuck y'all. But, thank y'all for being here. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. We got some shit going on. But before we get into the actual show, I want to tell y'all what I was listening to before I came up here. And I feel like we're going to have a larger conversation about this in the Friday weekly wrap-up show tomorrow. Okay, shout out to my members. It's you. No, it's you. Okay, shout out to the members because it really is you. Okay, so the episode of Soft White Underbelly, y'all. The episode of Soft White Underbelly with Judge Lynn Toler. And let me tell y'all something. I adore Judge Lynn Toler, and I have for a while. Okay. I'm even bucked up at the fact that she knows who I am. Okay. But I adore her. And I have read her books, at least one of her books, her memoir. I read it. And she was talking about it on Soft White Underbelly. And it really triggered me. Like, it really made me kind of like burst into fucking tears. So that'll be under the emotional things I'm talking about, in the wrap up tomorrow. But the reason why is because the way she talks about her relationship with her parents and her parents' relationship and how that affected her and the type of man that she chose to be with, I identify with her. I think, oh, girl. I identify with her. I think more so than anybody I think I've ever heard their story before. Maybe like another person that I really identify with was like reading Will Smith's childhood story. I identify with that a lot. But the way Judge Lynn has, you know what I'm saying? Like the way she expresses it, y'all. I do understand what it is like to some degree for a number of reasons. First of all, I did grow up with a certain level of access because of the type of person that my dad was. My dad was very smart, very charismatic. He was thoughtful, right? So there are all these like amazing qualities that made it so that I have a better life today because of the type of mindset my dad had about things. But my mom having to be a constant emotional center for that type of trauma, it's not fair. And I don't think it's right. And I don't think it should be seen as a virtue. But I also, when I hear her talk about her dad, sometimes I hear that there was the cruelty wasn't the same. And that's why I say cruelty and how y'all talk to y'all kids. A lot of times those things will matter way more than you can possibly understand. Because a lot of your bullshit can be forgiven if only it feels like you genuinely care about how your kids feel. There were times when I genuinely felt like my dad liked doing things with me. Like the shit we did, when we first got a computer, making CDs, like music. He really gave me such a broad, you know what I'm saying? Him and my mom. Like it was a thing for us to take long drives places. Like we drove to fucking New York one time. Like it was just this thing for us to make CDs, get our music together, and take these very long ass car rides all over the United States. Like just all over the place, child. And it was a thing that made me feel like my dad really did like to spend time with his family. Like he enjoyed being around us to some extent. But the way his anxieties and his anger issues and the control issues and literally the way he thought of himself as a man, it really affected his ability to not be cruel. But when I tell y'all, like, it's a catch-22 because it's a blessing and a curse. You are fully aware of how terrible and well-meaning some people can be. And you also understand that you can't really live under those types of circumstances forever. As a person, you cannot live under those types of circumstances forever. That shit is tiring. And that's the reason why, the niggas die first. The niggas, at the end of the day, the niggas be dying first. And I a lot of times feel like, yeah, you was supposed to be here, give what you gave, and get the fuck out of here. Because the longer y'all are here, sometimes the more damage y'all do to the people around y'all and yourself, right? But yeah, no, it really just had me emotional. But she said some shit that I feel like really reflects where the people are right now in these conversations that we have, where people have like rationalized things in their mind because of how they've been raised or their own hangups. And I can literally see that in a lot of the conversations that I'm having. And I feel like people know that I can see it. And so they really get offended by the fact that I can see it. I can see past what you're saying into why you're saying it. It's because I was reading books by Judge Lintola when I was in my early fucking 20s. When I was in my teens, I was reading Iyanla Vanzant books. I have constantly been in a space of trying to emotionally evolve. And it is because it is something my mom gave me because she had to figure out how to still replenish herself in such a dire type of situation where somebody is constantly sucking from you, but you feel like they're of benefit to you. So you allow for certain abuses to take place. And I think the way people have now rationalized that mindset, like across the board, I think that's a problem. Because I feel like at the end of the day, just because you have good qualities, that does not give you the right to abuse your family and your kids and traumatize them. It doesn't give you the right. It doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be apologetic. And I feel like a lot of the times your parents' ability to genuinely be sorry for how they be fucking up, it makes a difference. It's why I may speak about what happened, but I will always show up for my mom. Because my mom does sit with things. My mom does want to understand. And when she really sits with things, I can tell that it affects her emotionally. Like I can tell that she's sorry. I can tell that it wasn't something she was trying to do. And that's where the empathy comes in. so I can have empathy and still acknowledge, because I have to deal with what happened anyway. And so that's why I can really see what be going on with other people. And I feel like for other people, they be, they think I'm projecting. I'm not projecting. I've dealt with my shit. I deal with my shit. It's not me projecting. It's me seeing and acknowledging. Beyond that, please do what you will. But a lot of the times, do it over there. I just want to hear a little bit of what she said, and then we're going to get into the rest of the show. Because the first thing I really want to talk about is that Kelli Potter interview with Carlos. Because I watched the whole thing yesterday, and I have thoughts.
Past for our present.
Absolutely. And that precludes us, if we blame our past, it keeps us from having to change. It keeps us from having to do the work. And it allows us to continue to conduct business as we were. But there is a lot of work that has to be done. I'm working on myself as we speak with my 66-year-old behind. There are things I need to change about my fear level and all of that. And I'm always in the process of improving, because I don't want to be as scared this year as I was last year. You know what I mean? And I want to feel better next year than I do this year.
And the thing about growing up with parents that are not emotionally stable is that you are in constant fear. So your fear level is very, very high. Very, very high. Which is why me now in adulthood has to find ways, and I do all the things. Girl, I'm trying to go to a hot yoga class after this live. I try to do all of the things holistically to deal with the fact that my fear level was set very high. And everything that I do now is, how do I stop this fear? Because there's always this fear in all of these different ways. That's why liberation is such a thing for me. Being free is such a thing for me. Because to me, the opposite of freedom is fear. It's really just what you're scared of keeping you from the freedom. And so in my mind, it's always, how do I unpack that? How do I stop being scared of this?
So you spent a lot of years working on divorces and marriages and things like that. Let's talk about that for a while. Why do intelligent people sometimes choose unhealthy partners?
Because it hasn't to do with their intelligence. It has to do, I know I'm like a broken record on this, but it's their emotionality. That person may need an emotional need that they need, that they have, that they haven't recognized. It might be reminiscence of how they were raised or whatever, or something they're very beautiful or very this or very that. But when your emotions get involved, and especially that love emotion, biology ain't playing.
A certain person can remind them of their father and the unhealed problems they had there, or their mother.
A mother, or all that kind of stuff. And you respond to those qualities or those accordingly, as you knew about them in your past.
And I'm going to leave it right there. But earlier in this clip, in this live, not live, in the video, she says about why she chose her husband. She said, and she sounds just like me. She sounds just like me. Oh my God. She sounds just like me. When people ask about, what made me, recognize that Lyric was the one and all of that type of stuff. And a lot of the times it is because he was the safety that I was looking for. He was cool. He really, still to this day, rarely overreacts to things. Doesn't have, these big old outbursts and all of that type of shit. I didn't care if he was making more money than me, because when we got together, I was 21. I was 21. We were just fresh out of college. Certain things were not as important to me. What was important to me was what I understood was a good foundation, which is that you were hardworking, you were kind, and you were college educated, meaning that you were equally yoked with me, right? Those things being crossed off for me was all I really needed, because the main component that I was needing from a partner was safety. Does that mean that that's what I'm always attracted to? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But when it came to him and all of the All of the things being like, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it, because I felt safe. And there weren't, to this day, there's not a person that I feel safer with. So, yeah, no, I when I tell y'all, I so identify, and I'm grateful that is where my mind knew to be, even at 21, when I was very, very young, and still coming out of a lot of the trauma, like still not even fully clear on all of the trauma. But there was something in me that felt the future in us. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know what it was. Because it wasn't even just when we decided to start dating. When we looked back on it and realized how there was a fondness that was very unusual. It was an unusual fondness. And it wasn't anything, because like we were friends and you know, had different partners. So when we were first around each other, it wasn't like a sexual or, you know, romantic type of thing. It was more so a feeling of, I like to be around this person. I really like to be around this person. I don't know what it is, but every time they're around, I like that they're around. And I notice that there's an energy coming from them that I really like. And that is what was like, you know what I'm saying? That like, that was how our friendship took place. And he was also an extension of my cousin, who was also a similar type of person for me, right? Like men aren't, my dad wasn't a safe space as a man. So the men in my life that were safe space, like my cousin Jermaine, like who introduced me to my husband, like those people matter deeply to me. So, you know what I mean? Like it really does go back to those childhood things and why we feel the way we feel. And for anybody that was ever wanting to be in my fucking business, because y'all always asking me about my nigga and all of that's why. That's why, bitch. That's why. And Judge Lynn Tola very much expressed that. She was like, I wanted a cool dude over 6 feet. And I didn't even need you to be over 6 feet, because I wasn't thinking about having no boy child, you know, and making sure he was tall. That was not on my mind, because as a short person, you know, most niggas is taller than me. I'm 5'3". Most niggas is taller than me. Okay. So it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like that wasn't on my mind. And also it wasn't on my mind to like the type of children I wanted to have. Child, I just thought I was going to have a girl. That's all I thought. I thought it was going to be a girl. That's what I wanted. But outside of that, it wasn't no thought process about choosing a partner for that reason. Now, when it came to the nigga's face, I liked this bone structure. I thought I was like, if that was going to be on my mind, his bone structure is beautiful. You know what I mean? And, I like this mom. I like this sister. I like this dad. You know what I mean? Like, I like people that have a level of down to earthness to them, but also like, that there's a deep love and in wanting to be around each other. And my family was like, my family is like that. We are like that in that way. So yeah, we just had a lot in common. Our mothers are very similar types of women, even with different circumstances. Like they have some type of energy that is the same type of energy. I don't even know how to explain it. But we have a lot of, these like similar things about ourselves that really we didn't even know. It was like almost an unconscious thing, like being drawn to each other unconsciously because of these similarities that we had that created personalities that, like we were kind. That's why when people be up here talking like, you don't know me. Like you don't know me in real life. You don't know what it's like to actually be around me when y'all be, in the comments talking shit and all of that. Like don't, like, cause I curse people out and all of that. But there is a kindness that both us share about who we are as people and how we genuinely do things, not for anything in return, like that type of vibe. So yeah, he has the kind of, he does. People that meet him, especially now, like at his new job where he, runs into people who know me all the time. So he's always coming home like, babe, I met somebody. And, no matter where he goes, he's well loved because he really is who he is. So, shout out to him. But, that's when you work through your trauma, right? You're aware of it and you're trying to resolve it, not trying to just swim in it and live in it forever. because I would have never chose that type of personality if I was still trying to be in the throes of those up and down, emotional relationships that I really was drawn to. So yeah, well, but let's get into Kelli, because I watched this whole interview with Kelli and Carlos, y'all. And I'ma just say it again. I don't care how much y'all don't like Kelli. I fucking like Kelli. there's a level of there's a type of integrity about Kelli that I appreciate. She stand on what she says. She doesn't really back down. And I appreciate acting like a human being. I appreciate that. Like, Kelli acts like a human being to me in these scenes. Like, she makes the funny comment that a lot of us would think about if we were just given 2 more seconds. Bitch, that Portia has fucked every African in Atlanta. Bitch, that will not be a gold star moment. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. Carlos is such a fan of Portia, and I hate to therapize the nigga, but I think it's because, listen, I noticed something about some gay men. Some gay men have a certain type of energy that coincides with a certain type of woman. A lot of gay men have a Jezebel spirit. A lot of gay men have a Jezebel spirit. And I'm going to tell you, I think all of y'all that fight for Portia and y'all really love Portia, I think it's because y'all too have a Jezebel spirit. But you know what? We're all human. We're all human. And we're allowed to have a Jezebel spirit. I'm not one that's going, stone you in the public square. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's okay for people to be like, hey, hide your husbands, hide your wives. Portia's walking in the room, bitch. Okay? And that's just based on how you've been. Yeah, Kelli doesn't seem performative. Like, I think she's funny in the way she is just as a personality, like just across the board. That's what I'm saying. She's consistently who she is, and that is what I like. And I also feel like the reason why I like that about her is because we're the same type of people in that way, because she said the exact same thing as to why she liked Marlo. Now, listen. Y'all know what I say about Marlo. Marlo is somebody that I feel like, yeah, she might always be who she is. But sometimes I feel like not sometimes. I have felt like, based on how she moved on the show, that she was somebody that would do things for you simply so that she could use you down the line. She probably has matured a lot, right? Since being, not asked to come back to the show, maybe. Okay? Because she is a rich bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate that about her. Like, who she actually shows up as, I appreciate that. But the things that she would say on the show that are just so old auntie problematic, but you like, I just never understand people that are living outside the boundaries of what everybody thinks is acceptable. But because they've put it as acceptable in their minds, they feel like they can then judge other people that they feel like are unacceptable. And I feel like if you know you are living outside of the confines of what is socially acceptable, like making money off of off of fucking old niggas and just chilling and all of that, you know that that's not what this patriarchy wants you to do, ho. They don't want you to be living well and all of that off these niggas' dimes. They want you to be struggling and having to give up pussy on corners for $20 and shit like that. They don't want you to be out here outpricing for pussy. Okay. So I just always feel like, I don't know why people like that have to also be like homophobic, or they will also be like, part of the bonded crew, oh my God, but they will also be living outside of societal norms. And I just be like, you don't see that we're all outside of the societal norm. Okay. Either way, I like Kelli. I don't know why she, I know why she likes Marlo. But I just always say, just give it a little while. Just give it a little while.
It was nothing from Atlanta Housewives that I wanted, right? It was no person, it was no thing, it was no relationship that I had fantasized about that I would want my life to look like. That's not my thing. I've had all of those things. I've really had all of those things. The homes, the cars, the money, all of the, I've had all of it. Like, it was nothing that anyone on the show could do that would impress me. I mean, if you look at it, I came in my first season and really set the standard for a lot of these ladies.
In what way?
Oh!
No, tell me, I want to know.
Talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
I mean, when it comes to fashion, when it comes to content, they weren't doing content.
To be clear, that first season, y'all can say what y'all want to. Her first season, she was dressing down. She was. And now everybody is using the stylist that she was using on the first season because they fell out. Because she says he was messy. Carlos is also like, you could tell whose side he's on. I would love to comment back to Pooh Garris. Pooh, you would like Kelli. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you in my video to hate watch me? And I haven't even been up here for 30 whole minutes yet? Why you coming at me? What did I do to you? You would like Kelli. Girl, the shade of it all. Girl, people be having a big ass head all in your life, talking to you like you crazy. The interview was nothing but her bragging about things she no longer has. I don't think the interview was nothing but that. I think they talked about a lot of things. They talked about other things. And honestly, if all she did was talk about the things that she no longer has, then that would mean that Carlos wasn't a good interviewer, because that means he didn't ask her any other questions. And we know he did. So good day with that. She talked about a lot of things. I don't know why Carlos had to show up to the door with no shirt on and just an apron. I almost feel like, so did you think her nigga was going to be coming through the door with her? Because once her nigga came on camera at the end, it was very much, he's extremely attractive. He's extremely attractive. The interview was a waste. Oh, Kelli. I mean, I guess if that's how y'all feel, I thought it was a good time just because I really like how honest she is. I like how when she was asked that question about K. Michelle and Shamia, she said, absolutely not. I'm not going to answer any questions about them because I fuck with them both. I also like the way she was very fair in the way she said, child, I like Phaedra. Phaedra can talk shit and make her little slick ass comments in the confessional, but in real life, she's kind to me. We have a good time. I like her. So that's still my girl. So I felt like I like that. I like the fact that she can take it on the chin because there is a level of play about this. Now, why Carlos feels like he always needs to be Portia's mouthpiece, I don't know, because there was a moment where he says that Portia actually appreciates a person like Kelli on a reality show because you need somebody that can create the friction with you, that can bounce things off of you. And Portia does not want a show that can possibly get canceled again. So any amount of friction is going to cause good engagement for this show, right? Even those of y'all that show up to, make all your, weird ass negative comments and all of that and take all of this shit personal, about a reality show and people that you don't really know in person, but okay, girl. Yeah, like all of that's great. All of that's great for the show. All of that is great in engagement. Also, I appreciated how she showed up. Because Kelli comes, I want to know what Kelli's childhood and all of that was like. Like, I would like to know deeper about her life and, and explain how her life went down. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as what was your childhood like? What college did you go to? Because she sounds like she comes from an affluent type of life. And based on the way she shows up to people's houses, I absolutely kind of, I can see that. I can agree with that. She showed up to Carlos' house with a bottle of Dom Perignon. Okay, some flowers, a little seasoning, a candle. And listen, if you don't know nothing about a good bougie bitch, not you, just judgmental, weird ass bougie bitches, but the bougie bitches that actually have good taste and money, when I tell you they will craft you a little basket, a little welcome basket, I love it. Girl, I like that type of carrying on. That remind me of my sister. My sister's like that. Every time you visit my sister, she is going to have some type of little basket on the bed with, some little cute card, a t-shirt, from somewhere in the city that you can go. Like, she's always going to have some cute little gift there for you. And I have really learned about, what it means to be a somewhat affluent, classy-based lady. not just from my mom, but also from my oldest sister, because my oldest sister just really knew how to lay it all out. And so I see that also in Kelli. And I'm sorry, I have an appreciation for that level of refinement. And I also feel like a lot of people are focusing, oh, you don't have it now. Like, that's because she went through this divorce. And this is what going through divorces will do to people. And so that's another reason why, like, the weird thing is that a lot of women are like not having empathy, right? They're just like, oh, you're broke. And then they're trying to act like it's because she's overspending, when the point of her expressing about these things is to say, no, I'm going through a hard time right now, but my life has always been, luxury. From childhood to college to now, I've always been that girl. I've always had my own shit. I'm going through a hard time right now, and that's happening in front of everybody, but that doesn't change who I am and how I like to move. And I don't understand the problem. Girl, I don't understand the problem. I don't get it, because these things do just happen, right? These things do just happen. And I think it is a part of her personality to show off her money and her wealth. I mean, it's just like a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all like to show off money and wealth. A lot of y'all like to be out here in y'all fake designer bags and y'all fake designer shoes and all of that shit. Or fucking on some nigga that got enough extra money to throw you the money so that you can go and buy this shit, right? That's probably more expensive than your mortgage, girl. Okay, your rent. Not to mention, Bonnie, she got children and had to pick up and get out on her own. It sounds good to people until you're divorced like Kelli and have to find the strength to actually do it. I commend her. Same. And that's like, I think her, that aspect of her story is also very commendable. And I think that it just does show that there's a real fear of what her ex-husband is capable of now. And that was another thing she talked about. She talked about y'all always saying, oh, I know how he look now, but I loved him. I had children with him. I wanted to be with him. And I would have never thought he would have handled me the way he handled me. That's what she said. And I just kind of feel like that sounds like a lot of women. That sounds like a lot of women that think they've gotten with a man that is actually a partner because of the way he's moving, right? You're helping her with the business and all of that. But a lot of those men, their love is contingent over ownership. So as soon as, you don't want to be owned anymore, now they're having a crisis and acting like they are not the person that you've been with or that you met. It's very odd, but it is how people show up. It is very realistic, okay? So the story of a housewife that had it all, went through a terrible divorce, lost it, went through a hard time, and then gains it back, that is a good story. That is a story worthy of reality TV. And I also feel like she has the personality to roll with people. Like she's slick. She's funny. Carlos even said that she is quick in person. He almost made it seem as if she wasn't as quick on camera. And I'm like, nah, she's quick on camera because she peeped the games that your favorite was playing very quickly. Yeah, I like Kelli. Y'all may not like Kelli, but I like Kelli. I also feel like I appreciate the fact that she has been a good friend to Shamia, because sometimes it's just about doing, if somebody's good to you, I just think it's, I think you should be good back to them. And I think Shamia has shown up as a good friend for her, and she's shown up as a good friend for Shamia. And I appreciate that. Like, I like the way she's moving, even the way she talked about the women. I really do appreciate it. You feel how you feel, but you're not trying to like drag everybody. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Because I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to down you at every moment because I don't care. And I also identify with that because, it be so many people that it's like, girl, okay. I see you're trying to shade me really bad right now. Girl, collect yourself. It'll be okay. Anyway, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kelli Potter stands by claims that she set the standard for her Bravo co-stars, said what I said. And Carlos did agree. That's another thing. Carlos agreed after sitting there looking at her like she was stupid. He agreed that the girls did not have people on call the way she did. They didn't. They might have had somebody come in here or there, but she had people that were actually on call. To be honest, I feel like Drew tries to copy and paste this. You know what I'm saying? This having a photographer and an assistant and a stylist just on, on payroll. That's what Carlos said. She was the only one that came in there with a stylist and a videographer on payroll, knowing that this was a job and it needed to be executed a certain way from the way she had handled her business with how she, made her restaurant successful. I most def set the standard for the best chicken and waffles. And so now she getting arrested. Child, that's what they want from you. That's what they want. I'm guilty. I'm her. You right. I'm guilty. I'll take my lick. Okay? Nah, I like Kelli. And I'm going to keep saying it because she ain't did shit yet for me to dislike her the way y'all be going at her in the comments. And you right. I am the type of person that more so prefers that type of personality than all of that fake ass shit that y'all be liking. You right. You right, girl. We not the same. You right. Another thing, right? Another person that, has always been my girl, through the screen and through the internet, is the BAM. It's the BAM. And it's because the way people have treated the BAM behind fucking Scrappy. Like, the years after that, it was so cut and dry that this nigga was the problem. It was so cut and dry that this nigga was the problem. It was so cut and dry that Erica Dixon was a problem, that Diamond was a problem. But somehow we would rather focus on the fact that you should have never married him in the first place. Bitch, we've already done that. We were past that point. We're past that point, girl. Let's come to where we are now. This nigga is online crying like a bitch every 5 minutes. And we know it's really just because the girl don't want to be with him no more because she caught him texting his ex and they was talking about being in a hotel room together. And then they was fucking right after. And then he was with the other ex that's always giving she want to fuck him. And she was helping him go and get a divorce from me. So everybody that I did not like because I felt like they wanted to fuck my husband ended up fucking my husband. But I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. They say I'm the bad guy. Well, I guess I'm the bad guy. Okay? Girl. And BAM still continues to move like somebody that they're a real person. Like they're a real fucking person. Okay? You make mistakes, but you're still pushing through. I love me some BAM, girl. BAM did several interviews, so we're going to go through some clips. Now, I'm not going to call out the fact that I had asked BAM over and over again for an interview, and she said we was going to do it, and she didn't get back to me, but now she doing a burst of fucking interviews with people, and, hey, fine. It's cool. I still feel the way I feel, though.
So thank God it never left me in limbo. It was just like, okay, well, this is done. But I already have this happening still. Like, of course, I've been having a hair salon and a hair business for over a decade. Still exists here in Atlanta. I started this new fitness line, Element 78, and I opened a fitness center. And I had been working on that for about a year before I opened. Mm-hmm. And so things just kind of naturally progressed. And so thank God it never left me in limbo. It was just like, okay, well, this is done, but I already have this happening still. Like, of course, I've been having a hair salon and a hair business for over a decade.
Sorry. Y'all know Love and Hip Hop about to end. Love and Hip Hop is about to end. I think they're going to have like a little special last few episodes. Hold up, there's more. Because we was on Threads talking about how Scrappy isn't consistent. 1 minute Scrappy crying and mad. The next minute that's his baby mom, that's his ex. They gonna make it work because they kids. You know what I'm saying? And I mean like in a way of co-parenting. But to me, this is the thing with Scrappy. Scrappy is always doing shit so he could try to get back with her. And that's another reason why it makes co-parenting with somebody like that so difficult, because people will think you want to get back with them, but you're actually just trying to play it cool so they will do what they have to do, hoping if over time they just get used to you do what you're supposed to do, it's a good situation. But as soon as they get comfortable, they try to fuck you again. And then when you say no, now they're upset again. Now we're back at square one with them acting like an asshole. That's what I feel like happens between the two of them.
Well, I have constantly had to let him
Y'all, it's a over exaggerated cough because it's like a movie reference, y'all. If y'all have never seen Next Friday, don't worry about it.
know, like, hey, there is no chance for us to ever be together again. So when those feelings come up for him, because at the end of the day, like, Scrappy is a guy who wants a family. He is like that kind of person. So I think when he's done like running around and, the club ain't really popping this week, he might feel like, oh my God, I want my family back. And I'm like, hey, no, you don't. Like, it just ain't a club night tonight. Well, I have
What did I just say?
constantly had to let him know, like, hey, there is no chance for us to ever be together again.
Constantly.
So when those feelings come up for him, because at the end of the day, like, Scrappy is a guy who wants a family. He is like that kind of person. So I think when he's done like running around and, the club ain't really popping this week, he might feel like, oh my God, I want my family back. And I'm like, hey, no, you don't. Like, it just ain't a club night tonight.
Maybe she's only open to interviews to market her business. Maybe she's hesitant to accept real interview with relevant questions that may reveal vulnerabilities. You're ethical though, so yeah, nah. Listen, I don't know what it is, right? But Bam knows that I support her and support things that she be having going on. Anytime, anything outside of the show that she promotes, I will share or repost or whatever because I want Bam to win. So it doesn't even really matter. But we were talking about it, and I am seeing several different interviews. And these are, of course, bigger, publications than me. So understood. But damn.
Stay true to myself the entire time. And there were seasons where I wasn't produced at all. Like, I had producers, I would like bounce around from this producer to that producer, but I would never call anybody and kind of like strategize the season and say, hey, this is what I want to show, this is what I don't want to show. The only time I feel like I was kind of produced was during the divorce situation. But other than that, it was just like, just winging it.
So when you say, so I've never done reality TV before.
Stay true to myself the entire.
Okay, so some of the comments, because people just want to like purposefully misunderstand things, and that's what we be talking about. King of Kings Crown Me said, does she understand what reality TV is? They not supposed to guide you. Laughing emoji. So then, okay, so you want to make women feel stupid on the internet typing shit in caps lock. But what you're not understanding is the what's actually happening when people produce reality TV is that they have conversations with their producers ahead of time about how they want to storyline their season so that it can all make sense. Because at the end of the day, reality shows have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Every season, beginning, middle, end. There's always the episode, with the wherever the trip. That's it's almost like a song, you get to the bridge or the highest point, right? The highest point is usually the group trip, the last group trip or whatever big event is coming up. That's your height, and then you go out, right? That might be the end of the season, but it is absolutely a beginning, a middle, and an end. You are working towards something. You're working up to something. That's why on Real Housewives of Atlanta, K. Michelle started out talking about her album. The last episode is a listening party for said album. See? Okay, so then if you understand that, you know that most people are talking to producers. They're not winging it. She's saying, I was overly authentic because unlike other people on the show, what is normal on the show, I was not storyboarding ahead of time. I was just letting the story happen. And I also think it's because she started off at a time when a lot of the shows didn't really do that. But it's just aggravating when people think they're so smart in the comments and they're just really dumb. But you get 100 likes on it. And so now you think that what you said was funny. But it's like, no, you're actually missing something. That's why what you said is dumb. But you think she's dumb. Okay. Somebody said she was so not needed on the show. You a motherfucking lie. You a motherfucking lie. And who the fuck, the reality shows aren't about a need. What are you talking about? It's about entertainment. It's not about a need. What do you mean? Guide what? So it's acting? No, it's not. It's not acting. But when they guide you, they basically listen to what you have going on and they will put together how you will film the episodes in order to get that story, out. It's like they be so uneducated about the thing, but instead of understanding that there's something about it they don't understand, they would rather say that you're stupid or ridiculous and then do like the laughing thing. It's very, very interesting. Okay. They'd be booked and busy if they weren't stuck up and had high appearance fees. Stuck up and got high appearance fees. Okay. What were they supposed to guide exactly? How long between the hot tub introduction was it to be with Scrap? You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Like, when we were watching the show, it was a long time. It felt like a long time before Bam popped up playing basketball with Scrappy. And when we saw her in the hot tub with Benzino. Give it a rest and find a new reality show to hop on. This person, is this their second comment? Oh, you really can't stand Bambi. You just hit a hate on Bambi. That's your second comment. Somebody said, wing that shit. Wing that shit. This is stupid. People are applauding Jasmine. Bambi real name is Addie. I wonder why Scrappy never uses it, or Mama D. Because they prefer to call her the name that she calls herself and the name that they met her as. Why do you want them to call her like they are? Those also those aren't their real names either. Mama D's name is Deborah. Scrappy's name is Daryl. Like, the shit that people be saying, like, girl, let me see. What else was Bam talking about? Because I saw another clip of Bam somewhere talking about, because y'all know the reality show is over. She actually is starting a new Pilates studio. I think she started it already. She has a Pilates studio. Yeah, here we go. Here go the other one, because she went and talked to L'Oreal at Hot 107. Yeah, no, this is definitely to get the people into the doors down to the to the Pilates studio, and good for her, right? Because she actually, she has the physique for that industry. Like, you need to be, I'm not saying you need to be, but a lot of Pilates girls and people that run those businesses have to have a certain aesthetic, and her aesthetic fits it. And especially for the Black women, like the classy hood Black girls, you know what I'm saying? Because there is a subsection of hood bitch that's actually aesthetically classy and would prefer to do Pilates because it's low, low, what's it called, y'all? Shit, I hate when I space like that, but y'all know what I mean. Certain exercises are tougher than others. So Pilates is less strenuous. Dina, thank you for the super chat, boo. Thank you for starting it off. Come on, super chat. We're going to start this shit off right. Okay? I'm going to start ignoring y'all comments if y'all don't super chat, especially if y'all trying to play me in the comments. I'm going to just curse you out. I ain't going to bring you up here no more. People are exhausting and dedicated to devaluing women. They are, because that's what I see in the comments. The comments is just this constant need to low impact. Thank y'all so much. Low impact. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, girl, the way people show up in comments just for fun to hate on people is odd. It's so weird. It gives everybody's miserable. Oh my God. Everybody hates their lives.
Did you get married again? I know. What did you guys elope?
Man, Scrap.
Yeah.
Kinda. I mean, yeah, we went and we got married at my church.
It's strenuous.
but
It's
that's
low
not a low
impact. That's what I mean. And it's
we
not
didn't
as
have a
strenuous
wedding.
as
Okay.
So it
burpees.
was just like us, the pastor, and the witness.
Okay. So that's more your style. Like you're not like a big wedding flash. What?
Who church was it? That's
It was
probably-
my church
Oh, you still go there?
in Compton
Okay.
when I go home.
What are you getting at?
I mean, sometimes you got to check the pastor to feel who the pastor is.
It's my like childhood kind of
You know,
church.
the pastor ain't right, then your relationship
If the
ain't gonna
pastor
work
getting a
out.
haircut
No,
on stage during the
people,
sermon.
if the people
That sound crazy as hell. If the pastor ain't right, your relationship not gonna work out. That sound crazy as hell. The fuck do niggas be talking about? Like, why are you behind the mic just saying any old thing? That don't even make no sense.
aren't right, the relationship ain't gonna be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think my pastor told him to go cheat.
So you say that? I feel like, am I wrong? Because I'm not gonna lie. I checked out 11 Hip Hop, but I feel like he said he never cheated on you.
He said he never cheated, but the reason I filed for divorce is because I saw some text messages in his phone, and it was like, "What room you in? Oh, I'm in your room. Oh, I left my charger in your room." That's cheating. We done.
Yeah. So you go through phones when you date?
I went through his phone. Actually, maybe I would say we were married for, 5 years? I probably went through his phone like 3 times.
Really?
Tell everybody how you got
Why
in
you
so
do
we
that?
know how we.
I just guessed the password.
No, you
so
didn't.
just guessed it.
Yeah,
I
she
literally
did.
just guessed it.
Y'all just dumb, okay? I hate men.
I mean,
Also, why doesn't she have it? Y'all married. Why she don't have it? I mean, listen, y'all, this is something that just happened. Like when I say that, that's not like a rule that we had. It just happened. It just happened. We're together. We go together, girl. Sometimes I need his phone. Sometimes he need my phone for shit. You paying for this? Okay, let me use your phone because your card is hooked up to your phone. Like, of course we know the password to each other's phones. Like, but also it's because we don't have anything to hide from each other. So there's that. The fuck is y'all talking about? I had to figure it out. Blues Clues. Like, Blues Clues? I meant low impact. I meant low impact. That's what I meant. Cause like, you know, high impact is like doing like high cardiovascular shit that's hard on your joints and shit. Your joints. Yeah, I just like saying joints. It's funny to me.
Y'all are so stupid.
It's so
I
psychic.
guessed the
Talking about 3
password.
times?
Huh?
You guessed it 3 times?
Well, the last time I guessed the password. The other time he left his login on the computer, and then I was like reading his text messages.
Didn't you feel bad for doing that?
Absolutely not.
You invaded that man's privacy.
That's okay. He can invade mine whenever he wanted to.
Did you text any girls back?
Do I look like Yandy to you?
No, absolutely not.
Did you see anybody in the messages that you were cool with?
Yeah. Yep. And I'm still cool with them. Hey, girl. Don't even know that I know.
Yikes.
Would you get married again? I know. What did you guys elope?
Man, scrap.
Yeah.
Yikey dikes. When I tell y'all I want to know who the friend is, I want to know who the friend is. And I know you ain't gonna tell us because you don't want, you know. I want to know. I want to know, Bam. I will listen. If you don't want me to tell nobody, I won't tell nobody. Okay, I'm not one of them. If you tell me you don't want me to tell nobody, then I won't tell nobody. But I want to know who it is because I feel like it's somebody we know. Girl, I feel like it's somebody we know. Don't y'all feel like it's somebody we know? Girl, it's somebody we know. It got to be somebody we know. It got to be somebody we know. Oh, my God. And then, listen, as a person that really, truly tries to understand people, I always understand why people want to fuck Scrappy. Even though I can't stand him. I can't stand that whiny ass shit. I can't stand that, you know, you switch up, you know, every time you get in your fucking feelings and all of that. I can't stand that shit. I don't like that. Like, why you can't stand in it? If Daryl was the type of nigga that could just stand in his shit, I feel like it would be so hard to keep people from fucking him. If he was just able to stand in his shit, because it is an attractive quality for a man to be able to be like, look, I fucked up. It's my bad. But the way Scrappy cannot sit with uncomfortable emotions. Oh, Scotty, hey, you think it's here, bitch. Listen, they listen, all of that brother and sister shit. Wasn't they on that brother and sister shit before they fell out? And they fell out, they fell out at some point, and then they got back cool, I think. Girl, I don't remember. All I know is, yeah. Him and Young Jock always gave they might have good toxic. Absolutely. Oh my goodness gracious. That's all they give. They also just happen to be like musically talented, right? I feel like these are niggas that was supposed to be like, you know, y'all was supposed to be like peacocking for women and all of that. But, you know, the world has made y'all think that y'all are the prize. Mistake. I'm sorry. Y'all can't handle that type of shit. Y'all can't handle that. Because y'all can't just feel like y'all the prize. Y'all have to feel like the woman is not the prize. That be the issue when it come to men like that. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate the way Jock will kind of like stand in his shit a lot of the times, but not all the time. He's getting better. Jock is getting better. And I do respect the, you know, the growth at times. Look, in my unhealed era, I would have liked, child, in our unhealed era, we all would have like, girl. All that goings ons. What? As soon as that nigga was rolling around in the grass talking about putting the paws on him and beat the shit out Stevie J, it was up. What do you mean? Girl, we love a toxic, emotional nigga that look like they cry to you in private, right? And then look you in your eyes while they demon and beast fuck you and shit. And then, you know, later on say mean shit to you for no reason other than the fact that they had a bad day and their mama wasn't shit. That's exactly why I think it's her. Yeah, they did used to have a bit of a vibe, and I ain't know how I felt about it. And he did used to specifically go at Sierra calling her tight face crew. And I used to be like, now what the fuck did Sierra do to you like that? Okay, I remember I'll post a Discord link on all of the various places today. I used to love Scrappy when No Problems came out. I was in, listen, even when they got engaged, like, this is the thing I can't stand about certain types of niggas, right? Because they will convince you that they're changing and they're actually not changing. And that's what I think was happening with Scrappy and Bam. Because when she left him the first time, it was because he was on fuck nigga shit, right? Telling that other bitch he was fucking that Bam had a miscarriage. The fuck? Bam beat that whole ass and then broke up with him. This is showing you that this lady has high standards for herself, okay? Then later on, he gets in a car accident. He kind of goes through a hard time and he goes looking for the Bam. And when I say he went looking for the Bam, I literally mean he made a campaign on the internet that I believe Ray J helped him with to find the Bam. And when he finally found her, he eventually proposed to her. After he chased her down, he proposed to her. And at this time, you know, they didn't have any kids. He only had the child with Erica. It seemed like he was serious because he never really wanted to marry Erica. He proposed to her, but if he wanted to do it, he had ample time to marry Erica. I think he didn't want to marry Erica because she wasn't as soft as Bambi. I think Bambi had a softer energy about her that made him feel like he could be safer with Bambi. Versus with Erica, who come from the same type of, you know, rah that his mama and them come from, as far as I'm concerned. So she would match his energy. He got with Bam because Bam would know how to like disassociate or go somewhere else, Scrappy, what the fuck ever, and like, you know, be able to retain her cool. That's why he got with her, to tell you the truth, okay? She was stabilizing. She was stabilizing for him. That's why he was able to go and play that role for a little while before he needed to get back on stage. But yeah, everybody thought he wanted Erica so badly. I think that they have real good sexual chemistry, but more so he's attracted to the fact that she always wants him. She always wants him. That there is something about their physical chemistry that I think is just a always type of thing. They might feel a way about each other. They may be on the outs. He don't really want to be in a relationship with her like that, but he enjoys having sex with her. And I think she enjoys having sex with him. That's why they do that back and forth thing all the time. Let's listen to Bam.
So Element 78 is a reformer-based studio, a fitness studio. It's a luxury studio in Southwest Atlanta. And these reformer machines, they're Pilates inspired. And so this is like
Oh, definitely
something that
Spice.
we have to drive about 40.
The way Spice will interject to defend a fuck ass nigga and argue with his wife. The way Spice will jump in to argue on behalf of a safari head ass nigga or a scrappy head ass nigga against Bam, against Erica. Cause listen, yeah, racial shit was involved, but ultimately, y'all, that situation was also Spice's fault. Cause Spice was doing way too fucking much on behalf of that nigga, Safari. Like, girl, what you doing all this for? It's giving you fucking him.
45 minutes away if you're in Southwest Atlanta to get to one of these types of studios. And the industry has been a little standoffish when it comes to Black girls coming to these classes. And they're like, oh my God, have you been here before? And, you know, they kind of look at us like we're outsiders. So I created this in this community because there are a lot of Black women over here. So Element 78 is a
Okay, so if y'all are in the Atlanta area and y'all trying to do some Pilates, y'all make sure y'all go over there to Bam Studio and support if y'all like to do the Pilates, okay? I love that for her. I really, really do. I love the fact that she, you know, has something so quickly like, listen, I ain't missing a motherfucking beat. And y'all be forgetting, Bam got 3 kids under the age of 10. They should still all be under the age of 10 at this point, I believe. But yeah, like, I feel like, I don't know. And I just feel like Bam is still very graceful. I feel like she's a very graceful person. I just think that's who she is. And I like that about her. Okay? Because as we've learned, you right, bitch. I like hoes that know how to handle themselves with a certain level of couth and grace and shit. And I feel like she has, in my opinion. Okay? Now, speaking of people that have not handled themselves with a lot of grace. Okay, let's get into Jason Lee and Tamara. Okay, because I feel like Jason Lee and Tamara are just two messy ass people. I tell you no lie. Okay, so we remember when Jason was talking to Carlos, because we talked about this. Okay, now I think Tamara has responded and also Candy has responded. So let's just, go back in time.
Talking to Tamar Braxton, then she's going to have her opinion about me because of the fact that I woke up and realized that she was using me and built a relationship with Hollywood Unlocked through Jason Lee and was trying to use my platform to attack Candy. Once I realized the game, I was like, okay, cool. And then she felt what that looks like because I don't handle betrayal well. And I show up as my true, authentic self. And when you burn me, chances are you're probably going to get burned. Now, I will say that's the same Tamar Braxton, though, who was my friend, who hung out with me, who I put money in her pocket so she could feed her family, who put her on my platform, who brought her on my show. I did stuff with her. The same person. I didn't switch up overnight. But the one thing I won't do is allow anybody to use, abuse, or attack me and think that the Lord that I serve won't give them the blessing of a lesson not to do that to nobody else.
So the thing is this, I'm friends with Tamar too, right?
Friends?
Yeah.
So talking to Tamar Braxton, then she's going to have her opinion about me because of the fact that I woke up and realized that she was using me and built a relationship with Hollywood Unlocked through Jason Lee and was trying to use my platform to attack Candy. Once I realized the game, I was like, okay, cool. And then she felt what that looks like because I don't handle betrayal well. And I show up as...
And I'm going to tell y'all, I believe him because I think that is happening a lot of the times. Either when it comes to content creators like myself or blogs, reality stars or the celebrities that we talk about often try to engage with us in a way as to make us a mouthpiece for them. And people, back in the day, they would say, oh, you're on somebody's payroll. That's what they would say. I just see things the way I see it, and I'm not coming up off that just because you've given me some bullshitty ass reason for why I shouldn't think that way. But I've never been in anybody's pocket, and nobody has ever been able to sway me, and I have felt the pressure to be swayed, to be liked by people that I really, admire or like. And that's where that's what my shit kicks in and who I am kicks in, which says, yeah, no. Okay, we need to stay. We're not self-abandoning. We're gonna stay true to ourselves. Okay, and there's a level of having to take what comes with that, because it's more important to be who I am than it is to be a mouthpiece for somebody and then eventually down the line have, be played out by the shit. You know what I mean? Like
My true, authentic self. And when you burn me, chances are you're probably going to get burned. Now, I will say that's the same Tamar Braxton, though, who was my friend, who hung out with me, who I put money in her pocket so she could feed her family, who put her on my platform, who brought her on my show. I did stuff with her. The same person. I didn't switch up overnight. But the one thing I won't do is allow anybody to use, abuse, or attack me and think that the Lord that I serve won't give them the blessing of a lesson not to do that to nobody else.
So that happened at Essence Fest. Candy, you went to go speak to her, and some people were saying she gave you shade. Y'all still ended up taking a picture together. It was her and Monica and a few other people on the stage. Now, some people were saying,
is this a T-Boz cut? Bitch, not a T-Boz cut. Baby, baby, baby. Cause if you're gonna get me up, you got to love me deep. See, that's the music that I grew up listening to. Like, that's the music that my older cousins was playing for me. There was a lot of liberated women's music. That's what I was listening to, okay? I was listening to fuck y'all boxes, fuck what y'all think about me, I'ma still be me, y'all can kiss my ass, okay? And if you want to be with me, you better really like me, nigga. Don't be playing in my face. Don't think that you could play me for cheap and all of that. You can't play me for cheap, because when you play me, you play yourself. Okay.
Candy was giving Mean Girl. Some people were saying you knew the two of y'all had an issue, so maybe you shouldn't have spoke. What do you feel now about the situation now that, it's all come to a head?
I don't care. I was at an event, a professional celebratory event. I said, congratulations, and I went on about my business.
Yeah. Do you regret?
It's not T-Bozing enough. I feel like T-Boz had a little bit more hair. They needed to put another set of tracks in this. This don't have enough tracks in it. Usually we looking for a 32 piece. This is giving a 20 piece. It's Tamar. It just need one more. It just need one more round of tracks in there for me.
Speaking to her at all?
I do not regret saying congratulations. I don't care who you are. We can have beef all day long, right? It's not like I said, oh, let's go to lunch. Let's wound to wound. Let's da-da-da. I am not that kind of person. You know what I mean? I don't want beef in my life. I really do enjoy my peace.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I love my life. I have great friends. I have people who really love me.
Girl, sure.
Really with me for real, and vice versa. And that's
it
not
wasn't
really
that
my problem.
serious to you.
It wasn't like I was going like,
Right. No, Jason is not the first person to say that. Jason is not the only person to say how Tamar moves with, I feel like it's very similar way that she tried to move with Ashley. There is a level of wanting to control what we say based on our relationships with you. And no.
Yeah.
Right, a 17. It's given a 17 piece, and we need it to be a 32.
congratulations. Everyone on the stage was being honored. And it was one of those events where, you should just...
Girl, she thinks she Mary J. Blige right now. That's what it's giving. It's giving, I wanted to, you know what? Dress me like turn to whatever gay man she's paying. Dress me like Mary J. Blige today. Thank you. No, I feel like Tamar doesn't really have friends. I feel like Tamar has employees that are her friends. And it is because there are a lot of men that identify with her womanhood. Like the gay men that I feel like she attracts, they identify, she did it with Funky too. I forgot. Yeah. That whole situation was weird as fuck. I forgot about that. Yeah. Child.
Show gratitude.
See, that's why I be out, that's why I ain't tripping. Like I'm all right where I'm I ain't tripping, bitch. Okay, I like my dogs and shit. I like my nigga. You know what I mean? And if I really need to be around some people, I'm gonna go play calls with them old ladies that I'm kin to before I be sitting up here trying to be friends with people that's always trying to use me or make me feel a type of way. Because a lot of what they do is try to humiliate you on some type of level. That's why I don't like these types of personalities, because in order for you to be around them, there's a level of dealing with them trying to humiliate you that you have to deal with. And that's why they don't have a lot of friends on their own level. Because it's like, girl, who are you talking to? Who you think you like? Who you think you is? Like, who you think you being? Like, who you think you is?
And be kind and move on.
I didn't even think that moment deserved that big of the spotlight that it did.
It's
I
so
think
manipulative,
you
right?
spoke just like
when she be all hoarse and shit, because it's supposed to seem as if she's been crying and she's so emotional. And it's like, yeah, bitch, that's because you got a personality disorder. Shayna Lavon, girl, oh, you cute. Thank you for the super chat. I hate when Tamar uses that little soft, I've changed voice in interviews. Girl, stop. She's so full of shit.
anybody else and kept it moving. But it seemed to get blown out of proportion online a little bit.
I think that whoever brought it to the internet wanted that kind of reaction, and
Yeah.
God bless them.
So clearly, like you and her, there's no getting past, because I didn't even realize it was that big of an issue
I don't
between
have
the two
any
of you.
beef with anybody
He's
other
so
than the
fake.
devil. Really.
You help me grow. Give from above. I had to open it up. Never knew, angel of mine, how you changed my world, you never know. And even though these are so I know my mic going in and out. Cause I ain't really warmed up, girl. I ain't warmed up not even a little bit to be singing no goddamn Monica, girl. You gotta warm up your vocal cords to do a Monica. You gotta open up the bag of your throat. You gotta do the things. You got to get in there, okay? But you got to get in the back, but you also have to get in the front, okay, to do a Monica T, okay? Anyway, I'm sorry. People who have studied, okay? People who have studied fucking opera. What the hell? Yeah, bitch, that's why sometimes it sounds like I could really sing. Yeah, that's why, because I studied opera. That's why. Yeah, find out something new about a bitch every day, don't you? Mm-hmm. You know, like people think because you curse everybody out that you're not, cultured. My God, on today. Get your life together. All right. It's so hard, girl. It's really hard. Singing is so hard. When you really start to get into that type of singing, that's how I knew that Beyonce was gonna change the game. Y'all didn't really like Beyonce like that at first. Like, to be clear, I have to remind y'all, because people be having they be forgetting what was really going on and shit. But y'all did not like Beyonce. Y'all blamed her for why LaToya and Latavia just disappeared. And really it was her paw fault. And you kind of go along with what your people say. That's just kind of how that shit go, right? So it wasn't even really her. It was her paw. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the fuck, right? And then, the first album was about to come out. Y'all didn't know how y'all felt about her. Y'all thought she was cringe when she was in Gold Member. I loved it. Okay. Solid gold. It's gold. Now, y'all like when she was, shaking her ass in that video. How you doing, honey, baby? I know I don't ask for much, but girl, spending time alone can be pretty rough. But I get a knock on my door. I know it's yours for sure. Can't wait for the bedroom, so just hit the floor. Y'all did not like that girl at first, okay? It was those of us that saw the greatness that was really rocking with her through all of those little things that maybe most of y'all wasn't really feeling like that. Okay. I feel like it wasn't until it was like, ooh, let me think of what you like, what you see. That's when the niggas was really starting to get into solo Beyonce. Okay, check up on it. I'm gonna let you work up on it. Ladies, let him check up on it. Watch it while he check up on it. Tip it, pop it, twerk it, stop it, check on. That's when y'all was really getting into the Beyonce solo. Okay, that's when. And then by the time we got to the B album and Ring the Alarm, y'all really wasn't knowing how y'all was feeling a little bit during that time neither. Okay, y'all didn't really like these people like that for real. We didn't know what was gonna happen. But I said all that to say, the reason why I knew Beyonce was going to be Beyonce at some point is because there was a moment where Beyonce trained with opera singers in order to do a Grammy performance. And it was her singing opera in another language. And I know how hard that is because I was paying out of pocket to do it after college. So when I recognized the difference in how her voice sounded, because I know when you sing opera, your the back of your throat is more open. Like your whole shit is way more open because you're meant to hit the back of the room. Opera singers, their voices are naturally meant to fill up the room because in usual operas, like the rooms that they sing in, there is no audio equipment. There was no microphone. When you sing on stage as an opera singer, you're thinking about hitting the people in the back of the room when you sing, right? And so there is a level of stretching out the vocals and stretching out your diaphragm and really being able to hold those types of huge big notes. That's the reason why she can do all of the gymnastics that she can do now. She always had it, like the runs and all of that, but there was a very R&B quality to her vocals. When she did that specific thing, it all elevated after that. And that's just my opinion based on somebody that really, you know, nobody hollering B from B Day. Listen, opera is a sport. No, for real. It's so difficult. It's like physically, it's so strenuous. Physically, it's so strenuous, and it's something that you have to like stay on top of. Like my vocal coach was an opera singer, so like I knew how, you know, like there was a time period where like I'm paying out of pocket and I'm going to her apartment. Then, you know, I got another vocal coach and I was going to her parents' house to do my vocal. Like that, you know, I had 2 different vocal coaches during and after college, and it was just because it was something that I was passionate about. So, you know what I'm saying? Whitney used the muscles in her back. Yes. You even use your butt. You everything. Yeah. Head to toe. And it is so tiring once you done. Like it's literally a workout. I would remember like some of the exercises that you would have to do laying on the ground so that you could propel your voice out while laying down, right? Also knowing like how your body should actually be. A lot of people want to sing like that. You're not supposed to sing like that. You're supposed to sing with your neck extended, but with your throat box kind of like intact, right? And when you do this, you're stretching it. You don't want to do that. Okay, that's going to cause tension on the vocal cords. You want to be from here. And when I told Tina, dig up from way in through here, you better put some stink on this motherfucker. You better sing this motherfucker like your life depends on it. What he was talking about was engaging your diaphragm, which you take the air in and then you kind of create this tension that allows you to sing, but also kind of gives you the strength to hold back the air and also keep all of that engaged so that you're not solely relying on vocal cords, because you'll ruin your vocal cords if you're only singing from your throat. That's why you have to sing from your diaphragm and from your ass, basically, because it gives you the stability to push the notes out without solely relying on vocal cords, which can damage if you apply too much tension to them. But don't worry about it, girl. Let's get back to Kandi and them. So Kandi disputes Tamar's no beef claim. She was just calling me a bitch last Saturday. My God. Okay, Kandi said no beef, but she was just calling me a bitch as she walked past me at a party last Saturday. I can't do the fake shit. And you know I believe Kandi, because I believe that Tamar does this type of shit consistently. They were both on that Big Brother show. They made up, and then they were at that concert that they were doing together. I think it was an Escape concert, and Tamar was opening, and then Tamar comes out online and kind of throws it out there that somebody's husband came at her, and she brought that shit to social media first. So for somebody talking about they brought it to social media, what you think it was for? She brought the shit with her and Kandi backstage. She brought that out to everybody. Like, girl. Like, girl, don't play with us like that. Don't play with us like that. Like, I hate that she think that we believe her. We do not believe you, Tamara. Bondi, when is your next comedy show? I need to do another one. I have to. You know what? I need to talk to the girl, to the lady down there at Do Drop In, because we had a conversation when I was there for Funky's event, and I really should be, trying to pack that venue for a show. Let me see. I got a lot going on right now, but I need to be planning for it because I need to do another stand-up show. It was really fun. And then I'm realizing, like, it can go however I want it to go. And I think it went great last time. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I wish I could have made it longer. And I would like to even do this format, like, having screens and visuals and all of that. And, even having it so that when we're all in the room, if there's like certain topics, I can get y'all to like talk about it and give me y'all opinion on what y'all felt about the topic while y'all are in the room with me. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to do some shit like that. It's going to happen. I promise. Okay, so let's move on. I want to go to the niggas for a second. Let's go over to the niggas, okay? And now it's time for the niggas, okay? I don't know if that's the one I wanted.
Girl, that is not xenophobic. No one's
Yeah, no, there it is. That's better. Now it's time for the niggas. Because what are the niggas talking about? What are the niggas saying? What's going on? What's happening? Hold up, y'all. I thought I had saved it, and now I don't see it. And that's annoying to me. I definitely saved it because here it is. Here it is. I thought, girl, TikTok will really like undo whatever you just did. I noticed it all the time. I don't know what's wrong with them. You save it, they unsave it. You follow the person, they unfollow the person. What is wrong with y'all, TikTok? What is wrong with y'all? Okay? So, yet again, time for the niggas. Because what the fuck? It says that.
Life turned into a boys club.
Hey, yo.
Can the ladies get a seat?
No, bitch, you don't put it on this bottle.
Powerful impact, boom from the cannon.
What? Fuck you talking about? 800 a bottle of Rose, ho.
All over the track, man.
You sending the wrong message.
My bad. I'm just joking.
The way some of these women will roll into your section and throw a stack of fucking cash in your face like the hoe ass nigga you sound like. Let me tell y'all something. This reminded me that only a woman that hates other women would be in a relationship for as long as they have been in a relationship with Jim Jones. Because this type of foolishness like just shows how much you really hate women. And you just really don't like women. You don't want to be around women. You don't like how women are. And that's cool, son. But why you gotta be so like vicious about it? Like, calm down. Every bitch has not done something to you, Jim Jones. And I was thinking to myself, like, cause y'all know I've always kind of liked Chrissy. Again, will knock you the fuck out. But just a certain level of stoicism and nigga shit, dressed real classy, that I swear to God I have an appreciation for. She really reminds me of one of my cousins. Okay. And there's just, that quality about her I love, but they always have some Gen X mindsets about things. And there's no disrespect to those of you who are Gen X's and y'all don't think this way. I'm not talking to y'all, so let it fly. But you do know at large, y'all's group likes to stay where y'all at mentally on a lot of these things that we need y'all to grow past, because y'all are raising these new fucked up kids. And we're trying to we're trying to kill out some of these mentalities, and it's not working because y'all Gen Xers are raising like these younger kids with all of this stupid shit in their heads, I guess, because y'all still back there, okay? For this grown adult man at this age, to be talking about women in a club like this, first of all, why are you in a club? Second of all, why don't you have enough money that spending a bottle on the women in like that's the price that you pay to have pretty women in your section? If you wanted to just be with your fucking homeboys, then just say that. They're gonna look at you funny, but just say it, Jim. And only show up for the times where it's just you and the niggas. This type of vitriol towards women in your section is ridiculous, as if it's not an equal exchange. Y'all want beautiful women in the section. You want to be entertained by beautiful women. You want somebody with a fat ass to be shaking their ass on your dick. Like, you want this to take place at a club. That's why you go to a club, because that's what happens at a club. And you pay for a section for that reason, not just so your old ass can have somewhere to sit. Because you could go to a fucking lounge. You can go to a lounge with your homeboys. And nobody would be looking for a woman to be paying for a section, because lounges don't work like that. You too old for this.
I can't just. Fuck you talking about 800 a bottle of rose, ho.
All over the track, man.
My bad. I'm just joking. I can't just.
Ladies can drink over here. Ladies drink over here. Ladies do that.
Like a dungeon dragon. Change your little drawers because your pants are sagging.
Whoa. It's not a reflection. This is not a reflection of me.
My section is female friendly.
Yes. Right.
At all times.
Female safe.
It's female safe.
Is it safe? Is it safe? Is it safe, nigga? Is it though? Because even though I hear what y'all are talking about, y'all sound like niggas that know it will behoove you to act like you got some sense. But it's a means to an end at the end of the day. Do I really feel like a bitch is safe around Mano and fabulous? Absolutely not. Do I feel like they like women enough to not be like this nigga? Yes.
Friendly. Come over here. Bring your friend. Is she pretty too?
Yes.
Bring her.
Mm-hmm. What happens if the friend is ugly and she drinking up all your Don Julio?
But the thing is,
you're too broke to be here then. If you worried about who drinking up all the liquor, I low key feel like you too broke to be doing this. Like, and you need to just have your own bottle, bro. You Jim Jones. You mean to tell me like you and your homeboys can't go into the building with y'all own bottle in the book bag, bitch? Y'all can't get y'all own bottle? You can't have a bottle for y'all and a bottle for the bitches? You gotta be bottle watching? You a hoe. Like, you a hoe, bro.
Is the first
all of the real niggas are dead.
Really like some next level shit. If it's some next level, then I deal with it.
Yeah, but the friend is really not fitting the description to be in your section.
If the first friend is next level, I'll deal with it. She could be a rescue.
She going crazy.
She
in
be
your
a
section.
stud, all that.
But the friend is making us. She's
because a lot of the times a bitch that got, some sense and care about her friend, his idea is that I want the girl. So if her friend gonna be in a section, her friend gonna be in a section. I ain't gotta fuck her. But no, I'm not gonna trip. That's the price of tea in China, nigga. Because if I say no, her friend can't come in, she gonna be like, this nigga an asshole, I ain't fucking with him, and nah, I ain't getting a bitch, and I wanted the bitch. So I'm gonna let the bitch be in the section. Like, what's wrong with y'all? You niggas are weird. Why do you need to remind a woman that she's not attractive enough to be in your section? Who you niggas think you is? Especially that granddaddy looking ass nigga Jim Jones. Like, nigga, you was supposed to be on Method Man's type of vibe, but we could tell that you're not really taking care of yourself. I wonder what difference a woman makes. The difference a woman makes is Method Man and what he look like, and Jim Jones and what he look like. Shriveled up ass bitch. Shriveled up old bitch. Like women these days can't throw $800 in motherfucking ones at your forehead, ho. Oh my God. Cause you don't have a right to feel this way. You don't have a right to feel this way. You too old for this. This is how I think about things. When I say somebody too old for shit, it's because I feel like you either grow out of these mindsets or you have the money to have these mindsets. And when you have that money, you might think that way, but you're not really pressed about it. You pressed about money and you a misogynistic dickhead. So you're not even attractive enough for you to be judging anybody, number one. Number two, you don't have enough money to not be bitching out about a bottle in a fucking section where your old ass don't need to be any fucking way. I see many issues here. And so I would ask for a bit of grace, You give grace to women sometimes. You don't always have to be a complete and utter asshole to them, right? Like her homegirl coming in the section. What's the problem? What's the problem? You have the money, right? The bottle gonna get drank up anyway, right? And somebody in here might get hair from an ugly bitch. So you say. It may not be you. Think about your friends. What about your friends? You're just selfish. It makes me wonder if you're trying to keep the niggas for yourself. It makes me wonder if you're trying to keep the niggas for yourself. And why are you still in a club with these niggas? This is what I be talking about. Why are you still in a club with young ass niggas? Let's take a detour real quick before we get into even more ignorant shit. Let's take a detour. Because the way people are in my comments trying to outsmart me about 72 hours, y'all should see some, because they're basically trying to say that I'm overdoing it. Also, this video has like almost 100,000 views on it, so people gonna be aggravating, okay? And I've deleted a lot of people's comments just because I like doing that. I like you feeling like you just, you read me down, and then I completely delete your comment as if it never happened. Yeah, I like doing that. So when I talked about 72 hours, right, this is what I said. The new Netflix Kevin Hart movie reminds me that old men who make movies are usually extremely out of touch. And it also reminds me that they're kind of creeps. Now, I'm not exactly sure why a great large amount of people on the internet want to argue with me about the fact that movies are made by out of touch creeps. Do we not know that most of the people that make these decisions are old white men? The people that decide the movies that get greenlit a lot of the times are old white men. What are old white men usually at the highest rates of? Creepiness. I really don't understand. Like, I have to, like, what are you defending? What are you defending by arguing with me? By saying that 72 hours is grooming the public to not think that, there's danger in allowing old ass men offering you money and candy to be around you in vulnerable situations is creepy. What the fuck? Can you imagine living in a world where you went to college to analyze film and television, then you create a social media career from doing said thing, proceed to get up there one day after lazily watching something while you was drunk, and think about and pontificate on how you felt after watching the movie, and come to the internet with something that you heard somewhere else, but that you've identified here. And so you proceed to explain that. And they're in the comments fighting about how you're trying to apply deeper meaning to it. What are you arguing about? Like, you're here to argue about the fact that my point isn't real because the movie isn't real, as if movies don't groom people? It's always a weird conversation to have, especially around comedy, because comedy is the way that it gets to y'all the easiest. Y'all have become some of the dumbest motherfuckers because of the type of comedy that y'all have enjoyed. You've become some of the most misogynistic, creep-ass niggas because of the comedy y'all grew up listening to. For instance, right? I was talking about the 72 hours thing. They wanted to argue with me about it, but guess what I found? Let me find this video by Cecilia Regina that popped up on my timeline. I do believe that when movies and shit start coming out, a lot of the times it's reflecting the time in one way or another. And it's a lot of the times reflecting what the people in charge want you to be comfortable with. Because putting shit on television, y'all understand this when y'all want to be homophobic. But when we talk about it in the concepts of comedies that y'all, or problematic misogynistic bullshit that y'all enjoy, then all of a sudden you can't see the deeper agenda in a form of entertainment. Y'all get the fuck out of my face. Every time y'all say that, y'all be them same people that be like, I don't like the fact that they're gay people in cartoons. We're not supposed to be teaching the kids that they can be gay, even though when they grow up they can be gay. Listen.
In this, you've been recruited into ORCA, the Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Alliance. Together, we will bring down the chocolate chip empire.
Wait, not this one. I thought it was this one. Hold up.
So, why?
Where is it? I thought that was it.
If a man ever tells you,
damn, where is it at? I thought that was it. Is that not it?
If you're seeing this.
No, because that's about cookies. But that looked like the same dude. I'm trying to find it, y'all. Damn. Maybe it's in my saves. Because she did a whole video and it had a couple of dudes on there that were talking about how they've had encounters with older men who try to act like they want a relationship with them out of like friendship, but actually they're trying to fuck them or exploit them. And the theme in 72 Hours is I'm going to lie to these young men. I'm going to get them to want to be around me by using money, and then I'm going to exploit them. That's literally what the movie was about. That's literally what the movie was about. And so I don't understand. I think I reposted it. Yeah, I don't understand the way people want to like assess what I'm saying as something that's just so ridiculous all the time. And it's always somebody that's trying to sound like they're smart too. It's a lot of people that want to sound like they're smart while they're saying this to me. And so they use a whole bunch of fucking words and shit, and they're trying to sound intelligent, but you're basically telling me that my very intelligent assessment of this is too much. But you're saying it in an intelligent way so that you don't sound stupid. It's, girl, the new ways that people come up with to be contrarian for no fucking reason. But this is the video I was looking for, y'all.
I got a homie that's a grown-ass man that did not realize he was being groomed by another grown-ass man. His boss has been talking to him about girls and shit. Sent the homie pictures of the girls and stuff, like they little activities, the freak mix and all that. Freak offs, whatever you want to call it. My homie is explaining this to me. My dude, really cool. He just always want to be on the phone, always want to talk.
I just saw a video from a man talking about like older men trying to groom younger men. I think it was happening to me too. Reason being, like the guy would try to find any reason to come up to my room. So and then when he would come in there, he would sit on the couch and try to talk for hours.
And I want to share a story about when I was groomed. And then his conversations just kept getting increasingly more sexual.
So these videos of men talking about other men trying to groom them or men that they know have been going around. Thank you to these men for sharing.
Okay. So I love, thank you to them for sharing that, because, you know, it would be hard sometimes because, you know, niggas always trying to act like you soft because you acknowledging that niggas is trying to take advantage of you. But no, like, and so that movie reminded me of how what happens in movies is that people don't respond to things with the appropriate amount of fear, right? And it's because it's being written or produced or, you know, created by, in any form, created by somebody that wants to lessen your defenses. And I've also realized that. So giving you happy endings in situations where a person can be very, very dangerous to you will groom you into thinking that you can live past somebody trying to kill you because it was in a movie somewhere. Or you should want to marry or be with men that stealth you. You know what I'm saying? Or cheat on you or something like that. Because there's always some fucking movie where a man dogs some woman out and she breaks up with him and then he mopes and then goes and fucks a whole bunch of people, finds out that that girl was really so special because of all of these reasons and he fucked up. So now he's going to go back and now he's a different person and she's going to take him back. And in real life, what ends up happening is he's the same nigga. He just learned how to hide it better. Especially them fucking romantic comedies that I think absolutely conditioned a lot of men to be gross, right? And, you know, y'all, because now that I understand that they're putting things in media in order to get you comfortable with them, right? And ever since the Nickelodeon documentary, and we talked about what happened in the Nickelodeon documentary, we find out that all of that always wanting slime to fall on kids. Wanting slime to fall on kids, it looks like what? What does it look like, y'all? What does it look like? And that is because what you put out is going to have an effect whether you are just intending to entertain people or not. It's actually subconscious for people to put who they are in the art that they create. It's a subconscious thing. It's not something that people are always like aware that they're doing. And a lot of times delusions of grandeur will have them thinking that they can say the real thing in the music and they won't get caught because you think that it's not real. Think about that nigga David. There's a part of his mind, a part of his ego that makes him feel powerful enough that he will be able to put this shit in your face and you will still accept it. And to some extent, it's because it does work. It works on a lot of people. So yeah, like I don't know why, you know, people always want to argue about the effects that media has on people, but you know, they want to argue about it when it comes to this whole homophobic shit, right? Then you understand the agenda behind any form of media. When you don't believe anybody, now you don't trust the news. So now all of the media is not to be trusted and you just can't believe anything. So believe any old stupid thing you want to believe. A lot of y'all are doing that. Okay? Yeah, they desensitize us. I think they absolutely desensitize us because, and I think it especially works on men. I think it works on young men and boys the most. And I remember what it was like growing up around boys and young men, you know what I mean? And a lot of the comedy, the romantic comedies, the movies like American Pie, like all of those things promoted rape culture. All of those things told you that a person can be a good guy while they're trying to figure out a way how to coerce you, trick you, or get you drunk in order to have sex with you. It made it seem like it was a lighthearted thing that you can just marry a nigga that raped you in college and go on to have a happy life or some shit like that. It's a lot of trying to make you think that shit is not as bad as it is. And when you put it in real life, you know, situations, you realize it's fucked up. So when I said the niggas that made 72 hours was on some creep shit, is because I feel like they're trying, their point of view is that you don't need to feel worried about a man hurting you. So if he sends you $200 online, yeah, go have a good time with him. He might be an elder that you can learn something from. Not thinking about the fact that he could drug you and then fuck you, which a lot of them be trying to do sometimes. Okay, but it's a movie that ignores that there should be a fear there. There should be a healthy fear of interacting with a stranger you do not know that gave you money. It doesn't matter how he ended up in a group chat accidentally and all. They started talking about specifics as if that takes away from the theme of a older man exploiting young men for profit. That's the fucking movie. Bitch, that's the movie. Hold your horses with your paragraphs, okay? And then it's happening in real life where these men offer what looks like internship or the older homie. And really what he does, he puts it in your mind that you shouldn't trust women, right? That red pill shit is the same thing. The niggas that listen to red pill are looking for father figures. The niggas that listen to Kevin Samuels and all, that's why they call him the Godfather and all of that. These are a whole bunch of men that are looking for the validation of other men. They do not understand that they're an adult and they really shouldn't be having to look to that man in that way, right? But they do. And it informs them on how they deal with everybody and then how they deal with themselves. Prime example of niggas being weirdos and fucked up and shit like that, man. Listen, gunplay. Girl, I saw this shit. You know why he annoys me? Because I can see that he is a psycho. I can see that this nigga is unwell. And all his attempts to sanitize himself in front of everybody are just ego, like attempts of him to, you know, restore his ego, but not something that shows any actually real change. I also feel like y'all are consistently trying to make that girl that he did that terrible shit to, y'all are trying to make it seem like that didn't really happen. That wasn't what it was. He's tried to rewrite history about pulling a gun on his too young to be with him, wife, and their sickly baby. He's a nigga that wants to smoke and play games and talk loud and ignore the fact that he has a young, sickly baby that is that way because of his cocaine-infused sperm. That man would be on live, playing games, screaming and hollering, smoking around a sickly baby, and anytime that girl got on, you know, said anything to him about what he was doing, he would dress her the fuck down and become abusive. He's also a drug addict and an alcoholic. And so when he's high and he's drunk and he's going through his delusions of grandeur, he was a fucking terror. And we all saw it on the internet. And the whole time I was talking about it, there was always some group of women that wanted to be in my comments or under comments anywhere arguing on behalf of this man trying to make that girl out to be a fucking liar. The entire time. As if they know better than me. You're a young ass little girl. You don't even know what a man like that is really on. You can't see it. I can see it because I'm grown and I know what these niggas look like. When they are a certain way, I know danger when I see it. Okay? And everything about gunplay, including his fucking name, is danger, danger, danger. But a lot of you hoes like the thrill. But don't act like it's not what it is. This nigga is a demon. And he's always going, I don't know if this is old or not, but he likes going on We in Miami podcast. We in Miami podcast is another one of those very ignorant, degenerate, regressed, but flashy, all about the look of it. Let me pretend like I serve Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like those niggas. Those niggas that hold on to religion but actually have no real moral fiber about themselves whatsoever, because when it's time to be a good moral person, they do not do that. They know nothing about that. But somehow a religion is supposed to sanitize a nigga that pulled a gun on a baby.
At the God, you went from Santeria to Jesus.
Yeah, I did.
Do you feel like you sold your soul at one point?
I thought about maybe I did because I was getting what.
You know why I don't like that question? Because you're framing it as if practicing Santeria is selling your soul. When the truth of the matter is, when Gunplay decided to be a hood nigga, he sold his soul. When you decide to assault women, when you decide to be abusive to yourself and the people around you, when you decide you're gonna beat niggas and unalive niggas possibly, or whatever the fuck, when you decide you're gonna do those things, your soul has already been sold. It's already gone, girl. The fuck is y'all talking about? Your soul is your humanity. That's your empathy. It's your empathy for yourself, for other people. That is what makes you a human being, that you have feelings. That's what makes you a human. That was already gone. Stop fucking playing.
What I wanted, I would make offerings and I was getting everything I wanted. I got the bitch, the cars, the condos, the TV shows, the this, the that, everything was popping. I beat an armed robbery charge on camera. It works.
Is it real? Like,
yeah,
if like
it's as real as this table is, my brother.
When you say sacrifices, like what? Like chickens or like
chickens, anything. They tell you whatever you need done. They'll tell you a specific animal to get for it.
And it's not always an animal, but it is a blood for blood type of situation. I imagine the psychology behind it, the mindset, the energy behind it, whatever you want to call it. It's just like Christianity. It's no different than how these white people move. Y'all don't realize it, but blood sacrifices, that's what they are. War within itself is a blood sacrifice. Police officers killing black people on the streets is a blood sacrifice. Men killing women is a blood sacrifice. All of those ways that you spill blood, with the exception of from a woman's womb, is done in service to a God. In service to a God. Now, when I say a God, y'all think Jesus, whatever, right? But to me, the systems that people buy into are really their gods, right? Whatever the system is, that is what rules them. That is what they are centering in their life, right? And so for me, the other religions are just tools to serve the greater God that you're serving. That's just what it is to me. And energetically, you give blood in order to get, to move the energy, to move the elements, right? So you kill something in order to move the elements, to force the earth to move, because you've given it blood and now it has to return that to you. And that's what the intention is about. That's what I'm assuming, girl. I don't do those types of things, okay? But I do understand them, and I have to understand them because you have to stop thinking that black people, or people of color, when they're working in these religions, that they're the only ones that understand this blood for blood type of sacrifice, because Christianity within itself sacrificed Jesus' life for a whole bunch of people that were still gonna sin. That is a blood sacrifice. It's not different. Just because you make it into, you use juice or you use wine and all of that, the mental is very important. The intention behind what you're doing is very important. That's why you drink of the blood. You eat of the body of Jesus Christ in order to accept him as your Lord and personal Savior. You eat of his flesh. You drink of his blood. It's a blood sacrifice for the God. Jesus is a blood sacrifice for the God. Women, blood sacrificed for the patriarchy God. Children, patriarchy God. Okay? Neighborhoods, plants, the ecosystem, all of that gets raped and exploited and ruined for the God. The God of exploitation. The God of take, rape. That's what we're living in. And a lot of that is the God of money. A lot of that is the God of money. Money is a tool. You don't turn it into a God. People have turned it into a God. When you say things like, if it ain't dollars and it don't make sense, all of those things that make it seem as if it's not about your money, you don't care about it. Yeah, it may look small, but it is a mindset that is reflected throughout now, that people only care about things if it makes them some money. And if it doesn't make them some money, that's the only thing they care about. That's the same reason why they got so many content creators that are willing to exploit their very fucked up toxic relationships, only making them worse because they can get money off the internet. They can get attention, which is also currency, off the internet. Yeah, Salem witch trials was bigger than witchcraft. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was, we have to spill the blood of all of these women as a sacrifice to the patriarchy God so that we can take complete and, utter control. That's what it is on a spiritual level. On a physical level, it's destroying all of the powerful women, all of the women that know shit, so that the other women will see the sacrifice and they will be too scared. Right? They won't learn any of the things that the other women knew. So that works to the benefit of the overall goal of the God, which is the patriarchy God, for the men to take over, right? So now you're doing it on a physical level. You're doing it on a spiritual level, right? And then you'll act it out in a universal, way by raping anything that is in a resemblance of a woman or a mother or what she provides, which is why they overfarm, which is why they do what they do with the animals, like overproducing and putting animals in terrible conditions is taking with no real care whatsoever, right? And now that's how everybody else feels and that's how everybody else moves, right? Because if I can't get something out of it, then it doesn't mean anything. And currency is energy. Absolutely. So yeah, sometimes we go deeper. My bad. Let's bring it back up. Stupid niggas. Let's go.
Tells you.
Your Babala.
Would it be like a voodoo priest?
Yeah.
So you go to him like, look, I need to beat this case.
Yeah.
Like, all right, go get a chicken.
I had to go.
This is what you
got
to do.
I had to get a turtle. They did
The funny part is that while he's admonishing it, he's asking for information as if he's going to go and try it.
And he wrapped it in some stuff and did some stuff and it was like, it's done.
Is it true that the bigger sacrifices you make, the bigger gave your life, the blessings you'll get?
Of course.
That's how the patriarchy, girl, that's how that be working, okay? Energetically, it's about what you give is what you get. That's what it is really about. You don't have to give that in blood. You can give that in energy, or you can give it in your own self-sacrifice. It doesn't have to be given in blood, but people want to rush things and people don't want to actually do what it takes in order to make things happen on their own. So they go and enact this magic, right? Because let's say for him, you were trying to get out of trouble. You could have just stopped getting in trouble, but you kept getting in trouble. You wanted the Babalao to just keep wiping your slate clean, no matter how you were working against that. You wanted to, skip the line. You wanted to get over. You wanted to not have to go through what you need to go through in order to actually change. So you go and make a blood sacrifice. It's an adulterated way, a fucked up way of what I think is, a universal rule of what you put in is what you get out. It's a way to adulterate that, make it bad, which is something that evil people like to do. Root work is work, ain't it though?
Really like that.
Of course. So why not?
Because I mean, look,
whack a human. It's true. People sacrifice people. If you know, you gotta feed them. And if you don't, you got hell to pay.
Is Ifa the same as Santeria?
Yes, sir. It's all the same.
And then you hear stories too, man, about girls, they'll put blood in your spaghetti. and to make you the dude fall.
That nigga
This shit
drunk and
real?
high right
Like,
there.
Yeah, it's very real, man. They don't know where I was betrayed by everything and everybody, and I felt like I was serving two gods. One is a transactional relationship.
Do you think the entertainment industry is demonic?
Yeah, of course. Everything you hear is, you know, the more you get close.
He's saying it was more transactional. It sounds like because Santeria required you to go and pay for those women to do the work. Now, you could have became the person to do your own root work if that's what you wanted to do, but you didn't want to do that. You wanted somebody else to do it. So now you're going to go to Christianity, where I feel like you think you'll be able to be absolved, because Christianity sanitizes. You know what I mean? It dips you in the water and it wipes everything nice and clean. So you don't have to actually deal with anything that you did. That's what Christianity does for a lot of people. Men can be the most terrible people in the fucking world, and all they got to do is go play a role in somebody's church for a little while, and y'all will think he's now been saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, and he's a different person. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the times they're not. They've just learned how to perpetuate that in a different ecosystem. That's why pimps always become preachers.
Closer to God, the more everything is highlighted.
You start watching it,
It just pops out at you. You know what I mean? You can listen to the music and like, oh God, what the?
It's true. Like certain songs make you feel certain emotions.
There's a certain group of people that
programming.
Does he look healthier to you, or does he look healthy because his hair is cut and his hair looks clean? And when he had locks, he just always looked a mess. Right? He often didn't look clean when he had his locks. And also because he was going through a lot at the time, right? You know what I mean? Is that really the thing? Because to me, he looked loaded out of his mind. So I don't know how healthy he is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right?
Exactly.
Everything is programming, yeah. Do you think that like to make it to a certain level, like in the industry, you have to do certain things?
Yeah, I believe it's real. I seen what was going on. You know what I mean? Like, you can't hang around certain people until you're at a certain caliber. You know what I mean?
Why? Because they be worried that if you see what they doing, you might expose them.
Where I was.
Yes.
They got to know that you're with it. Yeah.
They got to know that you're with it. And that goes back to the 72 hours conversation. Because to me, another thing that was happening in the 72 Hours movie was like this overgrossing us out, right? And that's why I went back and watched There's Something About Mary, because I was like, yeah, it was the same thing with that movie. There are things that have made me feel extremely uncomfortable, and it is because I meant to. The person is trying to gross you out, and you don't realize this, but when people are grossing you out, that's also like a sign of them being abusive, because it's a way to make you uncomfortable. And at the base level, you know, a lot of the reasons why people like to abuse you is because it makes you uncomfortable. Making you uncomfortable makes them feel good, because it means they're emotionally controlling you. And they like that. They like the ability to emotionally control you. So, you know, grossing you out, you know, makes you feel a way. A lot of those movies did that, but it's also a way to desensitize you to the gross shit. This is how it works on Men and Boys. On Men and Boys, it desensitizes you to the gross shit. And it reminded me of The Aristocrats, as I've explained, that's a documentary about how a test that people have in Hollywood is to say the most fucked up, nastiest things they can do in the confines of this same joke. And it's meant to seem as something that, you know, helps you expand your imagination on how you're able to come up with a joke on, you know, right on the fly. But really, it's a test to see how gross and depraved your mind can be. And that will let the powers that be know that you can be selected for certain things because your mind is already in that place, right? You start making jokes about, you know, incest and all of that weird ass shit. It lets them know that you're going to be okay with doing these movies where you're kissing, you know, teenage girls and all of this other shit, right? So then it keeps that same energy going. It makes it even more pervasive all over the place that we're constantly encountering men like this. And that's because these things are like set in motion to be done in a way that has a whole bunch of gatekeepers to keep these things happening, right? Quentin Tarantino does a lot of things, you know, like that make you feel uncomfortable. Yes, The Aristocrats, I watched that. Okay, so then y'all get what I'm saying. Like anytime I see something that's too gross in a movie, I feel like there's some grooming happening in that movie, because why are you trying to make me feel so uncomfortable? Why? What's happening? right? And the part on 72 Hours that made me feel like that was, why is there whale penis? There's whale penis, and now you have to put all of this whale penis sperm on your face. That's a joke. Why is that a joke? Same thing with the sperm / hair gel scene. Like, what are you doing? Why is this happening? What's the goal here? The goal is to desensitize you, gross you out, and then create these same like sleeper cells in men, right? Because they grow up as like cute little boys and you're wondering how they become these nasty, freaked out weirdos. It be the people around them, but it's also like those little funny movies that they're allowed to watch that has some of the most gross, grotesque fucking jokes that you can tell. And you know what I mean? Like things are sometimes, that's why I was talking about like Beavis and Butthead and you know, Ren and Stimpy and, you know, just a lot of shows like that boys are meant to watch. Young men, teenage boys are meant to watch. And I think those things are meant to kind of desensitize them to a level of depravity that the world wants them to live in. Because if they're living in that depravity, they won't really see how fucked up things are and they won't do anything about it, and they'll be the perpetuators of it. You know, and a lot of it has to do with how they've become desensitized. It reminds me of Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. Absolutely. Absolutely felt like a test of some sort to show somebody somewhere what they were okay with, what their barometer was. Even down to the fact that all of the weird shit happens after Tiffany walks out the room. And what that looks like to me is Tiffany is saying, I'm okay with bringing people to you, but I'm not okay with actually hurting them myself. But I'm okay with bringing them to the person that's going to hurt them. And then the other person is like, okay, well, I'm okay with being the person that hurts them. Aries Spears. Y'all remember that little skit with the kids, and that had everybody looking at Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears weird, and it really ruined Tiffany Haddish a bit. And then you start seeing Tiffany Haddish around people that are also problematic, going to, is this real? You know what I'm saying? Being around, you know, certain people, being at certain parties. Why your goofy ass there? Because now you're having to do even more to stay in these circles. Because we're not really seeing you like that. She might be about to come back out with something, I think. But it absolutely gives you got caught up in your initiation process. Your initiation process got put on blast. And so you had to go sit your ass down for a little while until time could go by, and then we can reintroduce you again. And everybody will have forgotten about what happened before. That's exactly what it feels like. I could be wrong. But that's what it feels like. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Some of y'all didn't know about that? Girl, yeah. She got sued about it. I think she had to pay out to the kids because it was real kids that they brought into that situation. And the situation really was creepy to those kids. Tiffany Haddish. That's who. Her and Aries Spears. Okay. So let's do this Lil Wayne update right quick, y'all. Actually, before we get to Lil Wayne, let's do this right quick because I thought this was a funny moment. And this is also, like, to me, a telltale sign of how people show up and the shit they think is funny, the jokes that they think are funny. It lets you know, like, where their barometer for harm is in their minds. Lil Duval. Lil Duval is somebody that I used to really love ever since, you know, and why would I like him for this? Like, the weirdest thing is liking somebody because of a rapey ass song that they made on Comic View when you were in like high school or middle school or some shit. Do y'all remember when he was on Comic View with baggy clothes on and some braids? And he did a rendition to Music Soul Child song that I used to really love. That was Music Soul Child was like my favorite artist and album at that time. That whole album I used to play all the time. I was so in my neo soul bag during that time. My God, that was a good album. But anyway, you remember he was saying he bought the girl a drink. He's like, I'm not trying to pressure you, but bitch, you is my girlfriend. It was basically a song that said, I bought you a drink, so now you belong to me. And if you don't leave with me and if you don't call me, then I'm going to start acting like a crazy person that's going to harm you. That's what he was joking about. Then Lil Duval proceeds to be, I got cool black girls as friends, right? Other comedians and other black women that go up for him, right? Brisha Webb and them. He gets he buys an island and gets a little jet and is giving like, all right, nigga, you're doing well for yourself. People be proud of you for finding your peace somewhat. And then proceeds to get on the internet every other day and find a way to demean and disrespect women. And I said, and it goes all the way back to when you thought that rapey ass joke was funny and something we should all be listening to. Okay. I'm not going to blame you because for the environment, because everybody thought that rapey jokes were funny. I liked you because of the joke, right? But it's still what it is. It still showcases. We still need to acknowledge that you had a level of violence towards women even back then. Fast forward to now, and you still have a violence towards women with the way that you talk about them and the way you engage with them on social media. And I think it deeply comes from, I know y'all not gonna like me, so I'm gonna treat y'all like shit as much as I possibly can because I know you don't want me, and it makes me feel better to treat any woman that I would want like shit because I know she wouldn't want to be with me because I wouldn't want to be with me. Deep down, that's what I feel like the feeling actually is. But he probably would not dig that deep in order to find that out, and he'll use all of this other shit to try to make it make sense because Brittany is like somebody that y'all can hate for the mistakes and shit that she's made in her life because it's been so public, right? Falling for the you can get a rich man to save you thing, right? It didn't work. Then, trying to be weird and over-sexualized, thinking that was going to save you, and that didn't work. I mean, all of the shit that she was doing is shit that young women are taught. I don't know why y'all acting like she just pulled some shit out of her ass. That's what you're being taught. Find some rich nigga to save you. Have a baby with him. That'll make sure that he has to take care of you. This is what young girls like her especially are taught. She did that. She went to college. They told her to do that. She did that, right? It didn't work out for her. She then, tries to do that red pill shit where she's appeasing these men's sexual desires and allowing them to humiliate her in the process. Young girl shit. She did that. That didn't work. Bitch had a nervous breakdown because you can only take so much of that shit, right? Then you do what they tell you to do when you didn't fall into pieces and everything you thought that would work didn't. You turn to God, right? But you can't go back to the Christian God because you got a nigga that's of Islam, right? So you gonna do that because he's offering you something that you really want in a man, and the religion is offering you solace right now that you need. You need to not be focused on how you look to that extent and your sexuality because you just finished being hypersexualized. So you put on all the clothes because it also suits you right now so that you can regain some type of, self-confidence that's not predicated on the embarrassment of how you was willing to get on top of one-eyed fucking Charleston White for clicks and views while you was fucked up. Honestly, never liked that situation whatsoever. Made me feel gross, bitch. Why are you this low right now? But it made sense for her to go right to religion right after. Regained some of her self-confidence, went through that bullshit with the Kevin, right? Went through the bullshit with Kevin, which we saw was bullshit, right? Now you see how the niggas is trying to use the religion to control you, and now you was so controlled, you went from one extreme to the next. And I told y'all that this was what was going to happen because a lot of women and a lot of people, period, go through this type of, journey in order to get back to themselves, especially if they are a woman that has been taught to use her sexuality to her benefit so much. At some point, you're going to have to get to a point where you can balance that out, enjoying who you are as a sexual person and a beautiful woman, but not using it as your only benefit, as your only tool. And also no longer going through enough fucked up niggas to realize there's not a nigga that's going to be able to do what you want them to do. So you need to just make sure that you're doing it for yourself. And I think that's the place that she's in now. And that's kind of like a natural chain of events for a woman like Brittany. We'll see what takes place, but I just wanted to get that out because I do feel like people just, y'all be big mad at women for shit and y'all act like they be really hurting everybody and they fucking mama. But when these niggas be out here doing the worst, y'all have every sad sob story that you can, have to rationalize they bullshit. But if a woman be out here embarrassing her damn self, going through some shit that got her looking like a fool on the internet, child, she will be in a doghouse with you niggas forever, as if the shit wasn't being done to her, as if she wasn't hurting herself. Girl, she ain't hurt you. She hurt herself. Oh, my God. But Lil Duval, for no reason at all, old ass nigga, under an oak tree or something like that somewhere, should be enjoying his old nigga I live on a beach life. But oh no, okay? Brittany Renner never looked good to me. She was just light-skinned and came out at the right time. Social media was accepting anybody. Now, a man like this, talking about a beautiful woman like that in any type of, you ain't that bad, I never thought you was pretty, nigga, please. Nigga, please. First of all, nobody gives a fuck. But it just speaks on the entitlement that you think that she should be somebody that you're attracted to. And you need to point out the fact that no, she's not. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck, Lil Duval. Why did you feel the need to share that? Because you just wanted to shit on Brittany Renner because Brittany Renner is in the process of coming out of, that whole shit. That's what it is. And niggas hate when you showcase that you can be, young and beautiful and go through hard times as a woman and still keep, finding your way back to some type of resolve. I don't think they like seeing women be, persevering in whatever capacity. They don't like that, especially women like her. They want to see you broke down somewhere, crying, looking fucked up, and begging for dick. And the fact that you somewhere like, nah, fuck that. I'm not on that no more. I'm going to be me. I'm going to live my life. Da-da-da-da. Now I'm in front of everybody again. Oh, they can't stand that shit. And then they're still attracted to you, which also pisses them off. They're also upset about the fact that they're attracted to you. That's why he would make this in the first place. And then a laugh emoji as if it's something light. I love when y'all put the laugh emoji as if it takes away the deep nastiness of what you just said. Okay? This is a deep nastiness. Brittany said, the confidence is admirable. Never in history have you been any woman's dream guy. You short, wide mouth bitch. I love that for her.
On her best motherfucking day is not fucking with me. At 34, bitch, at any age. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, bop, bop. All natural too, babe. That's the real gag, babe. I know that's why they're really mad. Woo-wee. They mad I won't lay on a table ready to die about getting my body done. I don't need a wig. Baby, I ain't no pig with a wig.
Why she gotta do all that? Why she gotta do all that? Why you always gotta be comparing yourself to other bitches? Don't do that. Don't down what other women got going on just because you okay with being natural. You're also biracial. It's easier for you to be natural, girl. Shut the fuck up. And you have worn wigs. And when you did, it was terrible. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make me defend you and then have to check the fuck out you just that quick. Do your little exercise. Talk to these niggas, okay? But I do understand there's probably some holes in her comments. When people be talking like this, you think they making a generalization, but they actually was in the comments looking at some of the people that was talking to them. You talking directly to some people you saw. Girl, but I do believe that when you are like fine as you're aging, like when you're a beautiful woman as you're aging, men really hate that because it goes against this whole you hit a wall shit. I saw another nigga online talking about Brittany hit a wall. And I'm like, what the fuck does that, what do y'all think hitting a wall means? What do you think that means? Because in my mind, I think y'all think it means that nobody's ever going to want that person ever again. Y'all think that nobody's ever going to want that person ever again. And the truth of the matter is that is not fucking true. Live in a real world with us sometimes, people. Beautiful women are always going to be wanted. There's always going to be some nigga that don't care about none of that shit. I don't know where y'all be at or who y'all be around, bitch. Okay? But that whole hit the wall shit is some bullshit that them niggas be telling y'all online because they want y'all to be pressured into sticking around with niggas that you don't want to be with. I don't know why random niggas on the internet are always like so invested in a woman staying in a relationship that doesn't serve her. But men cannot stand when you leave a fucked up ass nigga or a fucked up ass relationship. Like the way niggas be mad at Peja Amari for moving on. Like anytime a woman moves on from a fucked up situation and glows up or has a better situation, it's a whole bunch of men online that are miserable, fat, and nobody would have fucked them. So we don't even know why you talking to us. But they always got something to say because, you know, they've been told they're men and their opinions matter to people. And so they should just be able to express them. And I just wish they wouldn't. I wish they would not. I wish y'all would just keep what you find attractive a lot of the times to your fucking self, because it's only meant to make women feel bad about themselves. It's not actually to uplift the people you like. It's meant to make other women feel bad about who they are. I don't know what that's about. That's not a thing for me. I don't even like that. That's weird. I want people to feel better about themselves. I think if y'all would feel better about yourselves genuinely, you would stop being piss poor ass people. But that's just my opinion, girl. Let's carry on. Lil Wayne says private jet pilot contradicts ex-assistant's claim he was punched during onboard altercation. Now, y'all know we talked about this. Lil Wayne is being sued by his assistant that basically was an indentured servant for this nigga. Okay? And he said that the man hit him when they was on an airplane and he got in between him and the jet pilot. And he hit the assistant. And so now Lil Wayne says that the private jet pilot is contradicted. And I'm like, how Lil Wayne gonna tell me what this man's saying? How Lil Wayne gonna tell? You think I'm gonna believe what Lil Wayne say about something he's being sued about? Something he possibly did wrong? You think I'm gonna believe him automatically? I'm not gonna believe him. Tell me, like, talk to the jet pilot with Lil Wayne away from him. Talk to the jet pilot with another job so he ain't over there lying so he can keep flying planes for weird ass little niggas, okay? Lil Wayne is continuing to fight back against a lawsuit filed by his former personal assistant, arguing that newly obtained testimony from a key witness supports his version of events. According to TMZ, Wayne's legal team says the private jet pilot who was present during the alleged 2022 incident has provided testimony that contradicts claims made by former assistant Andrew Williams. Williams previously alleged that the rapper assaulted him after he attempted to intervene during a confrontation aboard Wayne's private jet. Wayne has denied the allegation from the start, maintaining that he acted in self-defense. Wayne's attorneys also point to medical records that claim show Williams did not suffer the type of significant injuries alleged in the lawsuit. Based on the pilot's deposition and the additional evidence, the rapper's legal team is seeking permission to conduct a second deposition of Williams, arguing the new information raises questions about his account of what happened. The latest filing marks another development in the ongoing legal battle, which has already brought renewed attention to Williams' former role with the rapper. Earlier court filings revealed the assistant's extensive job responsibilities, including being on call around the clock, traveling with Wayne, and handling a variety of personal tasks. The court has not yet ruled on Wayne's request for a second deposition, and the underlying lawsuit remains ongoing. So this is something that was released by Wayne's attorneys, and I feel like, where's the proof? Where's the proof? What did the pilot say? Nowhere in here does it say what the pilot said. It just says that it goes against what the man Andrew Williams said. It contradicts his testimony, but they don't say what the testimony is. I find it interesting that you wouldn't tell us what was said in the testimony that would prove that the man was lying. Why wouldn't you tell us that? Number one. And number two, I feel like, just like I said at the beginning of this, I don't like when employees of a celebrity are asked to, give information all the time, right? Because sometimes they will tell the truth, right? And sometimes they will lie because they want to keep the relationship with the celebrity that is their boss. So, I feel like that's a conflict of interest sometimes, but I also feel like sometimes the other employees are the only ones that are around that witnessed the thing in the first place in order to, give us a clear picture on what happened. But I do believe it's hard to always trust people who think it might be in their best interest to just go along with what the rich person said. But I guess we'll see, because at the end of the day, it is still very much a possibility that Andrew Williams can be lying about being assaulted by Lil Wayne. But ultimately, I still feel like the way celebrities treat their assistants and all of that, just like Shaq said, y'all are some assholes and y'all treat people badly. And because there's no real checks and balances in that business, right? It's kind of just allowed for you to treat people like fucking slaves and disrespect them and be humiliating and all of that type of shit. Like, and I just don't think that that's cool in any way, shape, or form. I don't like it in corporate America. I don't like it on the street. I don't like it in friend groups. I don't like this constant need to, make it okay for you to be humiliating people for the sake of a job or being around people. I don't like it. No. Fuck off. Anyway, let's move on. Another update. Where's Kanye? There was a Kanye update because we're doing updates on niggas that I think did that shit. I think I'm allowed to think. I'm allowed. Thank you. Before we get into it, don't forget, Reset by Design Wellness is going to Mauritius, girl. Taisha was just on Funky Daniva's channel. Okay, shout out to Funky. Okay, I'm so glad they were able to do that and get that to more people so that y'all can, find out about Reset by Design Wellness from another, content creator that people really respect. So thank y'all so much, okay, for supporting us. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I really hope we get some new good people and some people for the next trip because we're going to Fiji next year. So we're in preparation for Fiji next year. And I think there's going to be a trip to Bali again next year. Girl, fingers crossed, I hope, because I want to go back to Bali, girl. I do want to go back. I do want to go back to the Putri spa. Yeah, the spa that we went to. It was very, 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 very fantastic, girl. But yeah, so if you're trying to come with us with Reset by Design Wellness on any of our luxurious retreats, if you need a getaway, if you need, some homegirl time, okay, no judgment. Okay, it's a respectful space. If you can respect and you want respect and you want to have a good time, girl, come on through. Come on through. Link in the bio. Okay, hold up. What y'all saying? So who was flying the vessel? Y'all know that sometimes they have more than one pilot, right? And I do think that planes can be on autopilot as well. That's a thing. You mean a pilot that was flying a plane? Y'all funny as fuck. Okay, I was just trying to make sure I wasn't saying it the wrong way. I was like, wait, did I say it the wrong way? I want it on Fiji and Bali next year. I think my heart needs it, girl. It probably does. And it really is one of those things where you really do a lot of times get a great experience out of it. Okay, so let's get into Kanye, girl. Okay, so Kanye West reportedly settles lawsuit filed by former assistant who accused him of drugging and sexually assaulting her during a studio session co-hosted by Diddy. What did I just say? What did I just say? You can get away with these things when you do them to people that everybody feel like don't matter. Neighbors. Okay, also, y'all know I got a coloring book and a puzzle and I have merch and all of that. And the QR code up there is so you can get those things up here, right? But also, if you would like to, and I would really appreciate it. And thank you so much to everybody. And y'all let me know, would y'all like me to start like naming y'all? Because I will if y'all want me to do that. But thank y'all to everybody that tips me. Okay, you should tip her. You should tip her. Thank y'all for tipping me. Okay, tip your bartenders. Thank you. We're gonna have more that's gonna open it up for like everybody. We've been talking about that. We were trying to create a safe space for Black women, but also we just want to create a safe space, period. So I do feel like we will be, in the future, I'll be promoting for her, and there'll be trips that are for everybody. Because when we went to Thailand this year, that was for everybody. Fiji is the group trip, right? I think so. I think Fiji is a group trip, which everybody can come on the group trips. So let's get into it. Neighbors, according to TMZ, Kanye West and his former personal assistant, Lauren Piscata, have reached a settlement in her sexual assault lawsuit against him. Court documents state that the two reached an unconditional settlement on July 23rd, and a request to dismiss the case is expected to be filed within 45 days. The terms of the settlement have been made public. As previously reported, Lauren sued Kanye in 2024. Accusing him. Girl, let me read so I can comprehend. As previously reported, Lauren sued Kanye in 2024, accusing him of firing her after allegedly sending her numerous sexually explicit text messages and videos because he would feel like he would be able to do that. Who gonna check him? He's the boss. She claimed one of the messages read, "See, my problem is I be wanting to fuck, but then after I fuck, I want a girl to tell me how hard they been fucked while I'm fucking them. Then I want her to cheat on me." Lauren also alleged that Kanye masturbated and touched her private area during a hotel stay and drugged and sexually assaulted her during a studio session co-hosted by Diddy. I do think it's funny the way people don't really pay attention to the things that Kanye are being accused of. But somebody like in the comments said, "Baby, if this was Jay-Z, we wouldn't hear the end of it." And that's so very, very true. But that's also because there's a higher expectancy for couth when it comes to Jay-Z. Kanye has spent the last 15 years destroying any credibility that he has had, right? Nobody believes anything he says. He contradicts himself. Sometimes he got sent, sometimes he don't. Sometimes he's lying, sometimes he's manic. Sometimes he's just straight up misogynistic and on some bullshit and being very rapey with people he feel like have no recourse against him. So, yeah, and Kanye is one of those people that really always wanted the power so that he would be able to move like white people. And the way white people move is that, you know, if I want the coochie, I can have it because I'm who I am and you should be giving it to me. And so if I do inappropriate things because I want you, you have to be okay with it because I'm paying you and I'm Kanye and I'm powerful and I'm a big person and you're a little person. That's basically what's going on in most of these situations, which is why I don't automatically, run to argue against these assistants when they say the things that they say, because I do believe as a practice that celebrities tend to be terrible people to their assistants and the people that work for them. And I think that's passed down through slavery. As soon as you niggas get a little bit of power, you start acting like a fucking slave master. Yeah. Let it have been any other person that settles for this type of lawsuit allegation and y'all would be claiming they're guilty. I'm sorry, what? Let it have been any other person that settles for this type of lawsuit allegation and y'all would be claiming they're guilty. He is guilty. What's happening? Settled told me everything I needed to. I'm not selling anything if I didn't do it. Exactly. See, Jay-Z said y'all not playing with my name and did not settle. Speaks volumes. You would think so. But then you have to pay attention to Jay-Z. Jay-Z cares in a way that Kanye doesn't. And he understands certain things. Kanye, doesn't care and also, is a little off. So he doesn't understand and doesn't care to understand how he's being viewed by people all the time. Jay-Z is acutely aware of how he's being viewed at all times. And I told people, y'all think just because he fought so hard against that shit, that meant that he didn't do it. And I'm like, or he knew he could win. Because you couldn't prove it, because you didn't have any real physical evidence. So all he would have to do is apply some hard pressure. Because it was something from so old ago, a long time ago. That lady didn't have any real proof of that shit. This lady has text messages. This lady was working with him in the past 5 years. She has physical, hard metadata on that nigga. That's another reason why this nigga settled and Jay-Z did not. Why y'all always comparing shit? Somebody said settlement doesn't mean guilt. They could have made her see she had no legal case and the parties agreed to pay their own legal fees and never speak about the accusation or lawsuits again in public. Nah. Based on these text messages, it is obvious. First of all, she's an employee. That's why the Me Too movement and those laws that were enacted in that time are so important, because it doesn't just rely on the fact that when y'all see these types of situations, y'all just see a man and a woman. You don't see an employer and an employee. You see a man and you see a woman. So in your mind, she must have wanted the interaction, didn't get what she wanted, and so now she's going to say he did something he didn't do. That's what a lot of y'all are automatically thinking. But when somebody can provide the text messages to prove that their boss is being inappropriate with them way before before they were ever inappropriate with the boss, it can automatically let you know what they were on, because you should know not to do these types of things with people who you are giving a paycheck to, especially if they're not a fucking prostitute. So within itself, he's committing, a crime by propositioning and being overtly sexual with somebody he's employing, somebody he has, a IRS paperwork on. Within itself, it's problematic in an abuse of power. Let alone her giving you all of this evidence, and she probably got text messages that says what happened to her, because she wasn't stupid, right? Something just happened to me. I know this nigga gonna try to get away with it. Let me make sure I text him and be like, what happened last night? What the fuck was that? Because you want to be able to document that type of shit. Because when somebody does something to you, you do feel like, oh, I'm gonna have to get this motherfucker back. And then I don't like that y'all go and find this picture of this woman showing how big her titties are. Because if she has any pictures on her social media where she's showing off her body, the automatic thing is to feel like, oh, this was somebody that was trying to lure him in for this exact reason. I see the mind games you niggas be playing, except for the fact that you don't get to hire somebody as an assistant and try to fuck them. Period. That's what his wife is for. And I almost feel like that girl just looked like that, and you would have hired her specifically because you wanted to fuck her. Not because she wanted to fuck you. Working with you is an opportunity anyway. Like, the fuck? Because they always looking for a reason to give these niggas, like, he ain't really do that, when a nigga is a psycho and absolutely did it. Like, fuck is you talking about? Fuck y'all on. Okay? What are you hoes on? Let's get to this Usher situation. When I tell y'all the hoes were losing their minds, okay, the hoes were losing their minds over this Usher situation. And then when the girl started talking on social media, niggas was like, wrap it up. Okay. Y'all ain't got the Jasmine brand. Why y'all don't never have the video and stuff? Like, what's going on? Why you got screenshots of it? Put the goddamn video up there. Now I gotta go find it. I'll tell y'all one thing though. I wouldn't want Usher on me, but I would not go to a Usher Chris Brown concert either. I would not do that. But that man was trying to dance on this girl, and this girl was looking like she ain't want him to dance on her because, like, yuck, I came here for Chris Brown and that's it, right? And you get called on stage in bulk. You don't get called on stage and you know which one is gonna be. The men kind of have the choosing of which of the women they're gonna choose during their set, right? And she wanted to go up there, but she wanted some light skin on light skin action, right? I'm sorry, but he looked musty. He was sweating all over the fucking place. And I'm sorry, but I don't want no man sweat on me like that. I don't even want my own nigga sweat on me like that. Nah. Like, that's too much. Y'all sweat too much.
Person that's around here wanting the latest drama, wanting to be in drama. You've never seen me post a fight. You've never seen me post on social media about me being in tour with anybody. I don't even post my real life. Y'all don't know if I'm in a relationship.
Girl, we don't know you. What are you talking about? Of course we don't know any of that. We don't know you.
If I'm not in a relationship, who I'm with, where I'm at, or anything. And this has been blown way out of proportion. It was never supposed to be this big. I got on stage with Usher. In front of thousands of people. Whether if it was me wanting to just have the experience, or just me to be seen, or How do y'all know that once I got up there, I didn't feel uncomfortable or whatever? Like a person
Don't
that's
ask me
around
how I don't
here
know. Explain
wanting
to
the
me what you
latest
was feeling. Explain your feelings to me, bitch. Don't say you don't know. Girl, just tell us what it is. She is absolutely milking this.
I didn't think it would be this serious. And then for all these news articles and these big sites to try and take my words and flip them around and anything like that with the pretty privileges or anything like that, trying to paint me as a mean girl. I don't be on social media. I don't bother people. I mind my business. Y'all read my tone from my post because I was mad. I'm angry. I'm a person who sit back and don't say anything. So for y'all to be
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be like that then. So you're not losing your shit, girl.
Attacking my character, I'm gonna get upset because I'm a real person with real feelings.
I know that's right.
I didn't think it would be this serious. And then for
fuck you thought
all these news articles and these big sites to try and take my words and flip them around and anything like that with the pretty privileges or anything like that, trying to paint me as a mean girl. I don't.
Okay. She said, first off, nobody is declining to go on stage. I look good as fuck. You thought I wasn't going to let thousands of people see me on the big screen where you bitches will never be? Now, why you had to say that? There's some bitch that's in the crowd that might get up there. The fuck? You could tell, girl, this is where the mean girl part came out. You made yourself sound like a mean girl on that one. But y'all, it like, cause you speaking to people that are actually saying terrible shit to you, but it sound like you talking to everybody, so it come off like, well, bitch, you do sound like a bitch. But you might be talking to some real, like, you know, cause it's always the women that these men would never choose that be doing the most defending of them. My mom and I had floor seats. Their team approached us and moved us to VIP before, girl, not you and your mama going. VIP before the show even started. Pretty privilege is something you hoes will never know about. They don't say who you're going up for. Y'all want, girl, you saying the blogs took your words? Girl, this is what you wrote. You wrote this. You wrote this. You wrote this. How did somebody take your words and flip them and do all of this polygamy and shit when you said this? Girl, we read your words. Y'all have got to stop telling on yourselves and then getting mad when people listen to you. And respond. Girl, what is going on? Hold up. Let me order my Panera bread, girl. Hold up. Thank you to whoever just hit me, because you paying for my Panera bread. Thank you. Bitch, you need some chicken noodle soup and a sandwich. Okay, anyway. Let me finish reading this, because she put pretty privileges in capital letter. Pretty privileges. Something you hoes will never know about. They don't say who you going up there for. Y'all wanted me to get up there and fuck him at this point? Chat folks aren't used to anything. That's the most exciting thing that would have happened in y'all little ass lives. Fuck y'all disrespectfully. Yeah, y'all must have been going in on that lady because she was like, yeah, all right. And he was like, but the thing about it is, I don't see the problem with women that aren't acting thirsty over dick. I'm not, you know, her personality may not be the bee's knees or anything, but I enjoy the fact that she like, no, I'm not about to act thirsty over this nigga. Like, whatever happened to the Keith Sweat, my niggas? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I get it. She, you know, he wasn't like he wasn't reading her right, but I feel like I would have just handled it more gracefully than that. But niggas have little small egos that can easily be assaulted, even though there's a room full of people that are there for them. You picked the one that you wanted, found out she didn't want you, and now you want to, get her off the stage. Like, why you gotta act like a bitch? I'm sorry, but to me, what Usher, let me find it. I'm looking for the clip. That was some bitch shit. That's how bitch ass niggas act. I know y'all may not want to hear that because a lot of y'all like Usher, but Usher acting like I always felt like Usher was a bitch ass nigga. I always felt like Usher was a bitch ass nigga. I'm sorry, y'all. And to me, he was a bitch ass nigga in that instance. I don't know. Like, the fuck? And I'm also like, you got a bad attitude, but I'm also not like mad at her for, I went up there because I thought I might get up there with Chris Brown. I didn't. I don't really like him. I was smiling, but I was also uncomfortable. And so I kind of froze. Child, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's laugh. And then they sent us this, and I was just like, y'all gonna leave that fucking girl alone. Because I ain't gonna lie. Like she said, which y'all wanted her to fuck him? Girl, look at this picture. Girl, get Usher away from me. Get Usher away from me. Ugh. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. I think when people get older, they start looking like the assholes that they really are. If you paying attention, like youth will really make a nigga look like he not as creepy as he actually is. I love that song. Can you handle it? What he was gonna kiss her? I don't know what she was supposed to be doing. Oh, he tried to grab her hand and she moved her hand. Is that what it was? Or did he move her hand? Let's go back, Rolla. Yeah, no, he moved her hand. Yeah, no, he moved her hand so he could come in between her legs. She opened her legs a little bit. I feel like she was trying to be a good sport, but also she a woman that feel like a man is supposed to be doing all of this for me. But, a man I want. Like, what she was supposed to be doing, y'all? I don't know. What y'all wanted her to do? He's sweating. We heard he had herpes. What y'all wanted her to do? What y'all want her to do? I don't know. Y'all don't feel like listen. Why do women get out of being dry hump? They just go back to their seat horny. Yeah, I don't, and I also don't want no strange ass nigga dry humping on me. I'm all right.
Before we get started,
yeah, before we get started,
don't bring your ass up here if you don't want to be here. God don't like ugly. You most certainly don't feel too good about pretty privilege either, do you? Hey, listen, that's what I'm gonna tell you.
All of the real niggas are dead.
I'm just looking for one sexy lady tonight that want to share the stage with me. Me too. Hey, Chris. Yeah.
You're right. I would not be up there. And I can see that, that girl got a little, about her. But this nigga got a lot of about him. I'm sorry. You acting like a whole hoe out here behind this shit. That's the job. Sometimes people not gonna respond to that shit the way you want them to. You still a superstar standing on the stage with thousands of women screaming your name, and because this one woman wasn't feeling you gotta act like a whole hoe about it. You still talking about it? It's over. Talking about pretty privilege. Nigga. Like, let us handle her. You ain't got to do it. We was going to do it. Everybody, all of the women was going to tap that ass. You didn't need to. The fuck?
I'm going to take my time and find the right one on the right side.
Wait, are do-rags okay if it's Usher? Apparently, this is not a professional setting.
Hey, Chris, you got it. Oh. Thick thighs save lives. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so here's the thing though. When you pick women that are used to having men dote on them, like they're not gonna always be begging you like you want them to be begging you. Y'all gotta get them big girls up there that love y'all, that be doing all that screaming in the crowd for y'all. It's always, and there's no disrespect, y'all. Y'all know what I mean when I say that, because there is a girl. Think about, remember at the B2K and situation, they had that one girl that had the jacket and shirt and all of that with pictures of B2K all over it. Those women are always there. Them bitches. Get them. Okay, give them the night of their life. But y'all always gonna get somebody that you could possibly do something to. Cause she was ready. She was ready to show she was ready. You know why? Cause that look like somebody's mama. That look like a grown ass woman that's like you since she was the age of that young ass girl you just pulled up there. That's really what it is. Nigga, you was too old to have pulled that young ass girl up on the stage, and now you done went and got somebody that look like they're closer to your fucking age. Okay, yeah, that's what that looked like, and you know that because you choose women that's in that age range. You knew. You always got to pick a 30-something. You have to pick a 30-something to come up on the stage, okay? You got to pick a 35-year-old, somebody my age, bitch, okay? A bitch that look like me that's in the crowd. You pick, girls that look like me that's in the crowd because they going to come up there and give you a show, okay? They going to be with all of that humping. That's what we used to do in middle school, bitch, humping at the dance. That's such a good song. Can I come and go down, baby, with you? Yeah, Leopard Print is giving 37 plus. Yes. Okay. Listen. And he not even giving her the attention. Not even giving her the attention like he was trying to give to the other girl. Now she doing all this extra work. And why she got to be doing all this extra work? She the one paying to see you, nigga. She trying to get some dick from him. That's what that is. She trying to get called to the hotel. Right, because he got to act like a bitch ain't never wanted him before. Okay. Child, you might get some dick later on. Probably not. Not the open container of cherries. Not her licking it and then putting it in, trying to put it in his mouth, and he said no. I wonder why he said no. So you could put your mouth all close to somebody else's mouth. Where's this man's wife? Child, why y'all acting like y'all care about where that man's wife at? This is his showmanship and his style. His wife ain't got nothing to do with this. Okay? Y'all know how this go. It don't matter if a nigga is married. He's a performer. It's a performance. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all following BondyBlue Bites? Y'all gotta follow my secondary channel. Lisa Ray said something about the girl. Girl, Lisa Ray said something about the girl. Let's listen.
You go to a Chris Brown and
girl, I be so tired of her showing up looking like an old lady sitting under the tree and like low key having this vitriol, like nobody should be coming to you as the lady under the tree because you don't like nobody.
in an Usher concert.
Can't take no advice from a bitch that don't like nobody.
Enough to know that when it comes to that part, that you know what the women has done and what is expected. So if you go up there and do something different and other than what's expected, people are going to look at you like you're the dumb one because they like, what the hell you been under a rock? Because this is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I get that she had a man and that maybe she's not that kind of girl. But if you're not that kind of girl, then you should have kept your ass sitting down in your seat.
Right. Because God forbid you go on stage so that the man is dancing on you, not so that you dancing on the man. The fuck?
Pretty as fuck or not. You know what I'm saying? and that's just what it is. Because you can get up there and say, ain't nobody going to do nothing to me that I don't want to be done to me. Right. That's true. But again, when you're up there, that's a part of the show. That's a part of the show.
And what that mean? So that mean I got to do something I want to do because it's a part of the show? Girl, I'm not being paid. So whatever's a part of the show, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't being paid to be a part of the show or go along with a script, bitch. Ain't nobody put my name on no W-2 for this shit.
period. That's what they do for that part of the show. You can't act like you didn't know that.
She didn't act like she didn't know it. She acted like I went up there for Chris. And I think, I don't know, you know what I mean? And that she was backstage. Listen, whatever. Child, Carlos' face is you know why? Because he know it's going to go viral.
And I'm going to add this on there too. You go to a Chris, her rebuttal was a little much.
I agree on that.
Came real strong. It was like, pretty with privilege or just...
But this, I feel like, and I feel the exact same way, but I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give credence for the fact that people were probably talking shit to her for a minute before she said that shit.
Lady, like, it's like,
because y'all
wow,
like to defend dick.
So all of that is, for me, is I'm taken aback. I'm almost like, ugh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, girl, give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Really, Lisa Ray? Really? You wasn't never the girl that have a tone of, I know I'm that bitch and I look better than you, bitch. You ain't never had that tone about yourself when it come to other women. You never had that, I look better than you, bitch. I got pretty privilege. This nigga gonna treat me better than he gonna treat you. That ain't never been your vibe, not even a little bit. Okay, girl. I'm just saying, so you acting like you don't, Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying, y'all, I see where she's coming from. Please don't get me wrong. But Lisa Ray is one of them people that I feel like she has always given I turn my nose up at other people, especially I turn my nose up at other women. I act like I care about other women, but actually I kind of turn my nose up at them. And once we go back to her relationship that was triangulated with her mama and her daddy, we understand why she one of them women that don't like other women like that neither and view them as competition in some, facet as well, and has had to do a lot of work on herself to get past some of those things. But I feel like that's why I'm like, come on, Lisa. Like, don't act like you never knew what it was like to be young and think you was that bitch. Don't do that.
Saying like it's a lie. I think it's a way that you can get your point across with the stance that
bitch. Mary Sparkle's like, well, girl, shut the fuck up. So Ebony, so what you saying is that Ebony shouldn't have been at the party if all she was gonna do is dance? That's it? Because we know what happens at these bachelor parties. Okay, Diamond, we see you. We see each other. Okay. Girl. Yo. Hilarious. I love y'all.
That she took to be this pretty privileged lady, that she could have had said all of this ladylike, I think what hope happen is that she opened up a can of worms, and I think that they gonna get her. Especially the girls that is about it. They're going to be like, well, bitch, you should have, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be like, woo, you know what I mean? Because the internet, is unstoppable, you know what I mean? So I do believe that, she going to get a little bit of backlash for this. But, like she said, nothing happens in Chattanooga. So maybe she wanted to make that noise, and maybe she ready for all of that, that her rebuttal comeback, So I just wanted to know, was she expecting Chris Brown?
Yes. She wanted the young nigga. Yes.
So maybe I might have been mad too. I would have been like, nah, not you.
I never thought of, because no disrespect.
So you understood that though, huh? Don't act like you don't understand where that young woman mind probably was at. Don't do that.
Respect.
No disrespect at all.
Usher and Chris have two different demographics.
That's true, and one is available and one is not.
We got it. Sorry.
How did you get picked?
Okay, so it was me and my mom. We got floor seats, and
we heard all
feel
that.
away towards him. It's just I got on stage and
Wait. So, Can You Handle It comes on, and then obviously Usher and Chris, they're like, yo, we need a girl. How does that moment happen on? Because I don't know their show. I only know our show. So did he see you and he's like, oh yo, I got my girl, you.
Yes, I'm on the side. I'm on the side where he was at. I'm right there, where he can see me. Why would I want to get up here and embarrass myself? I'm already in heels. I'm trying to make sure I'm not falling, and I'm trying to listen at the same time. It's so loud, you can't hear anything because you're literally right there at the stage.
Have you been in front of a crowd of that big on stage before?
Not that big.
So were you fucking frightened or nervous?
It wasn't necessarily. When I got up there, I didn't see the crowd. I wasn't looking at the crowd.
That's what I say
looking
to
at him.
when I
But I don't feel a way towards him.
I say when the Take You Down girl comes on, they're like sometimes they're real nervous. So I'm like, you'll see the crowd, but you won't see the crowd. So
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
You know they're there, but then at the same time you don't know they're there because you're not paying attention to that. Usher's right in front of me, so that's who I'm looking at. Everything else was kind of drowned out.
So when you're walking up on stage, were you nervous?
A little.
I say.
Child, y'all know y'all love a light skin. Ooh, girl, he learned. He went and got somebody he knew would really want him the next time, right? Don't get your preference. Get who you the preference for. Okay, that's what you do. All right, let's move on real quick because I saw something with Azalea Banks and I wanted to talk about that because y'all know something always going on with her ass. Rapper Azalea Banks files restraining order against ex-manager, accuses him of psychological abuse, and claims he had her sign a life insurance policy while drunk. You know, this is something we're hearing about more and more often about how these artists are put into, you know, very precarious situations with managers and corporations and all of that, distribution companies, all of the shit that be going on in the music industry. A lot of times it's just a way to get people into some type of indentured servitude. And managers a lot of the times like to be pimps. The exploitation is all over the place. And it's just like, oh my God. So rapper Azalea Banks is seeking court protection from her former manager, Jeff Kwatsenitz, accusing him of years of psychological and emotional abuse tied to both their personal and professional relationship. In a temporary restraining order filing Monday, Banks claims the alleged abuse dates back to 2014 when Kwatsenitz allegedly persuaded her to sign a life insurance policy while intoxicated. He gave me expensive red wine and put the policy in front of me when I was drunk, and we were cozied up, she alleges. Banks says the policy was not reviewed by an attorney and claims that she still does not know whether it remains active or who benefits from it. She described their past connections as an intimate and very close relationship and accused Kwatsenitz of blending that relationship with control over her career. Honestly, getting you to sign a insurance policy while drunk is enough to let me know that whatever he intended to do with you, he was thinking about your death. Banks also alleges a private security firm was hired to locate and profile her, and was mapping her home. She claims she later found a wide open window and noticed random unmarked cars near residences. Banks is requesting no contact and stay away orders covering herself and several family members, along with cancellation of the alleged insurance policy. She is not alleging physical abuse. This sounds like when you know too much or you've seen too much around certain people, and now there's a threat against your own safety for what you know. It's always the people that are abused that have a lot to say about others. They have their own little glass house they live in, and they're always the first one to throw stones. She doesn't give the I can control you type, but it can happen. I hope she is safe from whoever this person is. Oh, absolutely, especially when it comes to her career. And an older white man, the way Azalea Banks kind of would come out and say very Kanye West type things when it comes to white people and Jewish men and older men. And the way I think she comes from somebody that's very insecure, a young black girl that has been very insecure about herself. And so she hypersexualized herself with certain men in order to get validation that she probably wasn't getting. So that means that father figure types can definitely come into her life, offering a job, offering, you know, connections, offering management, offering a warm spot, you know what I'm saying? Offering a place of trust and reprieve because your careers are intersecting, right? So you think this person has your best interest at heart because of that, because y'all have, you know, the same interests. What you don't realize is that the people that are in the system, you're not on the same side of them just because you make them money. They're exploiting you like a pimp and a prostitute, which means that it seems to you like y'all are working together, but really they're working you. And if at any point you become a problem, you are, you know, disposable. And you will have made yourself disposable by reiterating rhetoric to people that would have cared. Because to me, Azalea Banks has done a really good job with pushing away Black audiences, especially Black women audiences. She's a person that gives, I care more about if a gay white man likes my music than a Black woman. That's what she gives. And I mean, there are other types of Black women, right? But in my mind, I feel like a lot of her persona and how she comes off is about stepping on top of people that have maybe made her feel like she did not fit in. And the way to do that is to get to the people who have the power, and those are the white people. Those are the older men, right? And so I'm going to go and give them, you know, what they want so I can get what I want, so I can be better than the girls that thought they were better than me. That's how Azalea Banks comes off. So that's another reason why she does a lot of shit. Okay? She does a lot of shit online that I think is a reflection of that. And then, y'all, LaToya Luckett sidesteps claims radio stations were warned not to play her music following Destiny's Child exit. That's because them hoes trying to come back together. So we trying to forget about, you know, the things that Matthew Knowles and them did to make sure that there was no success for the other girls, because they were even thinking about making their own group, LaToya and Latavia. So yeah, for me, you know, when we talk about us not really liking Beyonce back in the day, I think that was a byproduct of the moves that her dad was making in the industry on their behalf in order to create, you know, this competition and to squash out that competition.
Well, you remember, but I don't think you actually remember. And a lot of people don't know this. Like, we fought through a lot of fucking hate. Like, it was a lot. No. It was a lot of
I'll
hate.
let you speak on that. I can't really speak on
You
that.
can't really speak on it, but I can speak on it.
Yes.
So, speaking on that, when your record went to radio, there was a call put in that if you play that record, you won't get no more records from this group.
I was not privy to that information.
Yes.
But you know what? To God
That
be
record fought through. That record fought.
To God be the glory.
Look.
Listen.
Yeah, no,
That
don't do
record
it. Don't spiritually bypass. Don't do that. She wanted to spiritually bypass this moment. She did. The Destiny's Child's girls are really good at that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to deal with something. Throw God on it, girl. Just invoke God real quick. It'll be okay.
Through that. There was hate. There was a mandate called up to the radio stations. Do not play that record.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? What? At the end
I don't
of
know.
the
You
day-
knew this one too, Toya. Remember when
I don't know anything else.
No. Seriously, no. Remember that?
No, don't tell me. It's 20.
Her being so uncomfortable with knowing the things, I almost feel like it's because you don't want to get mad all over again, because that was a sore spot. And you know that they were trying to like suppress y'all. You know that. The fact that you were able to come out and pop was a testament to the fact that somebody wanted you to win. I do think that. I think somebody was like, man, fuck Matthew. Play the record.
Remember when
when
songwriters were getting paid, right?
Yeah.
We sent a certain writer $20,000. Remember? To do a record. You don't remember? I'll say the nigga name, Sean Garrett. Remember?
Okay.
Come on, Sean Garrett. Come on, Sean Garrett.
Game.
Yeah.
How do we get him off?
Yes.
How do we get him off?
Listen.
How do we get him off? Oh, shit.
Hold on. Listen.
Supposed to be a celebration, nigga.
Toya. No. That's real talk. I'm just saying how dope you had to be and how dope these records had to be for you to break through.
Yeah.
So, Sean called me and was like, "Yo, bro, I can't do that record." I was like,
Yeah, I remember that. Now that I remember.
I said, "What the fuck are you talking about? You can't do the record. You got the money." He was like, "Man, I can't do the record." I said, "Listen," I said, "Shake," because Shake hooked us up. Shake hooked me up with Sean. So I said, "Shake, you just need to set up a meeting, and I need to go meet Sean. I need to go to the studio and see this nigga." I went down to Atlanta, went in the studio with him. I was like, "Sean, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You can't do this record." He was like, "Man," he was like.
But you know what? At the end of the day, Sean is very successful.
No, that's my man. I love him to death. He was honest with me.
This is what's said when you feel like you have to toe a line to continue to work and you've been traumatized by being kept out. And now that you're in, you don't want to do anything that will have you push back out because everybody knows that that's how this goes. That's how this goes.
Incredible records for some incredible artists. And as a matter of fact, too.
And I'm sorry, based on the way Sean Garrett looks, that's another man that I can assess probably acts like a bitch because of how he looks. Like niggas that kind of grew up ugly, but you know, they hell bent on being a pretty boy that they will never really be. And so there's a level of, you know, bitch assness about them. Sean Garrett kind of reminds me of men like that.
Put that to bed and put a pin in that. I remember being at a studio in Atlanta.
Yeah, she really don't want to talk about that shit. I hope they actually are doing the DC5 reunion. And I also feel like I don't think there would be any issue in expressing that because everybody knows that Matthew Knowles at this point is a little off. Like everybody knows that Matthew Knowles is a little off at this point. So I don't know why, you know, we so uncomfortable. Also, I don't know why y'all act like just because something happened a long time ago, people don't care. Y'all know people still care. It don't matter if it's old or not. We nosy. We like to know stuff. We like to know what's going on. That's why, girl. But with that being said, y'all, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about in my show today. Y'all tell me, did I leave anything out? I don't think I did. Let me make sure. Kelli, Tamar, Jim Jones. Yeah, I covered all my points. I hope y'all enjoyed the live today. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you to everybody that tipped. Thank you, Graduated Thought, for the super chat. For Reset by Design, would you all consider organizing trips to Cuba? I've been there 4 times, and the people in Ireland are beautiful. I'm definitely, I'll definitely talk to her about it. I know it's probably a little bit more difficult right now because of, the people and stuff, up there. Okay, so we'll see what's going on with it. Because the people in Cuba, I believe, are struggling really bad right now because of the Iran situation and the Hormuz, the water and the waterway that everything is brought down. The gas and everything is brought down. The Strait of Hormuz, which is, near Iran because, them people wanted to fight with them people for no reason. And so that fucked that up, which means that, the people in Cuba weren't able to get a lot of the things they needed, like the gas for their electricity and for their food and all of that type of stuff. So I think they might be like having a really hard time right now. Oh my God. Like the way people will make life harder for other people. And then people in America be up there like just defending this shit, defending this country's, imperialism and just straight up unnecessary raping and exploitation and starving of other people in places for no reason. And niggas is like, because I just like the way I like the way he handled the immigrants. I like that he got the immigrants kicked out, bitch. And now you can't get no fruit or no vegetables with your dumb ass. Oh my God. Anyway, I hate to even get into all of that. Anyway, I love you guys. All right. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the show. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, BondyBlue, BondyBlue Bites. Follow the secondary channel. I'll be putting stuff out over there today, this afternoon. So you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.